We are unmuted and live.
Woohoo! So, we know it's been a while. Hi, welcome back to Team Bonus Action for our Thursday night tiers of Kairos. Last couple of weeks we've had life things happen, and when life things happen, playtime things can't happen. So, we are finally back. We're ready to hopefully get this party started again and see what happens. I am Neysa Does Cosplay. I am the DMs for this games. And who's at the time with us tonight?
I'm Ninja Spence 21. I will be playing Zhonya Embersong, our fire genasi chronologist time wizard.
I'll be chocolate.
Who's eating chocolate?
Jed. Who said Jed? I'm playing Arten, Dawnwatcher, the Leonin Biter.
I am Miro or Hewitt, and I will be playing Fil'verl Ettin, Sorlock Astral Elf.
Alright, so before we jump into the quick backstory of what's happening recently, we're going to do one little reminder for today and tomorrow. We are still raising money and supporting charitably the Trevor Project, which provides needed services including housing and counseling for LGBTQ youth, especially teenagers whose families are bullshit and don't give them the love and kindness that they deserve as people. And so if you would like to, you could find the links below or on our lovely website, teambonusaction.com, to donate to that cause only until the end of March. And our next one is going to be St. Jude's, I believe, is the last.
Claire's going to put a poll up so we can see.
We don't know yet, but
I lean towards the St. Jude's.
But in April, we'll start supporting a different charity for the next 3-month quarter of the year. So stay tuned for that. And if you do choose to donate and can, thank you very much. We greatly appreciate it because everyone deserves a home and family that supports them, even if that's not the family and home they were born into. So, my darlings, I am going to, since it's been a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. If y'all can get all of the pertinent information in your recap, I'll hand out 2 inspo per person. It's been a while, but I'm not going to help y'all at all. You got to get it all.
Okay.
Last time on Tears of Kairos.
Well, last time on Tears of Kairos, that after that our day of basically having fun with just all of the games and stuff, we have found out that Fil'verl had an interesting night with a lady.
I'm still sore.
They had sex.
Yes, and then we had
That's crass. It was more of acrobatics.
Yes, and then we
height
had
difference and all.
And then myself and then Fil'verl, we had started to explore the town and basically meet up with just at the shopping and stuff. And then we had played Let's Make a Deal with Daz.
Did not make a deal with Daz.
I made a deal with Daz, and then I had lost my colleague because of things. But I did happen to get the item that I wanted.
So I was still blind for about half the day. So at breakfast blind, walking around blind, got to the first place blind, and met up with these guys in the midst of their not quite making deals with Daz. But I tried to talk to Daz, but Daz and I weren't really vibing. And so we pieced out, went next door, where I spent everyone's money. I spent all the money.
We're broke now.
We have 500 gold left.
But my armor is so shiny.
And you got a new toy.
And I've got a very fancy new weapon that hurts a lot.
Yes, then
We've had the retcon the design of the armor.
That we had also went to Glories. Glories, that is local, that is the armor smith to where then it was basically a choose all of your own weapon that he had showed Arten basically some artisans pole arms, a maul, a scythe, artesian, thank you. And then that we basically went to the Turniferous siblings, and then that we had spoke to Mia, I want to say.
Which each represents the seasons. Mm-hmm. And the seasons had just changed. And so the one in charge was, wasn't it spring or fall?
I believe that it was
She fancy.
spring.
I thought
But
it was
then
spring.
that that it was also with the Pink Castle.
Yep, it's
Then
spring.
I-
Spring.
Yes.
We didn't talk to the grumpy ones.
Yes, and then that we had a rather interesting conversation about like Pavin, and then and we have finally realized that that the Mimic House that we were basically had the game in, it was basically actually a old adventuring group that were on the same quest as we are, but different timeline because of multiverse theory. And
She said that we could investigate some of these things in the giant library inside of her fancy house, which, like, got this guy right here rock hard about the idea. He was super excited about reading books. Sorry, got this lady right here rock hard about the idea of reading the books.
yes, and then I believe that the last pointing thing about information was basically Phil had said something that was basically that he was just understanding his own future death, and Zhonya had basically incited that, and then that Zhonya had gave Phil a look.
Correction. Not future death.
Future sacrifice.
Future sacrifice.
Potential future fate.
Future
Because,
fate.
to continue on with the multiverse theory that we have been introduced to by the Tenephorus quadruplet, that was super energetic for no reason this early in the morning.
Fate. Yeah.
But that we are part of a multiverse that continuously has Kairos having to deal with Phinos and putting the gods behind a barrier. And because of that, someone is way too close to this nuclear bomb when it gets off and gets Kairos cancer and becomes a very, very big problem for everybody.
Gets Kairos.
And then starts getting greedy for all the shards of the new timeline that's about to pop up.
Kairos cancer's a good phrase. That's a good phrase, man.
Gets Kairos. Cancer.
And it means
That's
that one of the three of
That's
us,
quoted now.
That's
one of the
quoted.
three of us might have this happen.
Yeah.
So the idea of breaking the chain is very popular amongst us. However, we don't know yet because we have to go look at books.
Yes, and then
And hopefully not fart on another mimic.
and then that there is also another correction as well, that all three of us happen to have differentiating viewpoints about the situation, but we are all at somewhat of a mutual understanding, or at least I hope so.
Y'all are forgetting one major piece of information about an NPC in Velbrook.
That we have basically learned. Oh, about Daz is also Kairos touched.
Yep.
And that she might be able to do something.
That she may be able to basically fix up that the shard that we had broken it in Ixalan.
I refuse to say that we broke it. I don't think we did that.
I tried to reverse
I'm
time
under
on it.
I'm under the impression I might have cracked the crystal.
And
I don't think it's
tried
our
to
fault.
Fix it.
I refuse that. That's.
But my
I
dice
put too much Jesus juice directly into the stone being held by the demon lord.
by that the demon bat thing.
I Bible banned him too hard.
And then that my dice
false
was
news.
not
It's all
activating.
false news.
But I have not been able to roll that my Nat 20 game has been off. So prepare for 5 Nat 20s tonight.
Alright.
Let's go.
That would be appreciated.
I'll give y'all the 2 inspirations. Y'all got all the info with only 1 prompt. That was good. So we're going to jump straight back in. It was like mid-afternoon and y'all were heading to the house, the like estate manor house on the outskirts of the Velbrook village area proper. If I remember correctly, we got y'all to the house.
But we did not go in.
Right.
So the house itself, it's a 2-story with maybe an attic space. There's like a row of like flower beds leading up to the front door. There's big windows in one set of them. You can see into what looks like a pantry type of space. There's a lot of empty shelves. The place looks like in the past it's been well lived in, but has not been lived in recently. Yep.
Is the grass tall? Is it like growing up a little bit? Or are they keeping it well done?
Ankle-ish high.
Okay.
I mean, it's plushy, but it's not like field high.
We gotta go out into the shed in the back, find the old mower that's just...
No, it's like, I was just going to state, like, if, like, in Louisiana, there are, like, some ragweeds or thistles, stuff that needs to be cut down.
No, it's actually...
I need to practice with my new thing, and I was going to be in the background.
You're just going to be Link.
Well,
linking it up.
There might be other areas out the back, but this is just what you're seeing in the front and like around the sides.
Okay, cool.
Going in, it's like a kind of like a dog run style of house. There's a single hallway that has 4 rooms branching off of it. There's like a little lounge or a study area here. There's a dining room here where you farted on the mimic before. There's a kitchen space with like a large hearth and lots of counter space, and then there's the pantry. There's a spiral stair at the back of the house that goes up to the second floor. You went up to the second floor when you were doing the Find the Mimic game. And on the second floor, it's a very similar setup. There's rooms that are essentially bedrooms, and there is like the library, which the library is not... It's not massive, it's not like a huge space, but it is chock-a-block full of journals. Most of the journals deal with, the normal lives of various adventurers. There's lots and lots of names given, but I'm not going to give you all of them. So I have 3 pages of journal information, one for each of you. Choose your poison.
That was too far to grab one.
Oh. Okay. So, how would y'all like to proceed with this? Do y'all want me to kind of give the rundown to the camera? Do y'all want to go down your pages individually? What do y'all want to do?
I think we should all do it in character individually.
Alright, have it.
Oh, so this is just, all of us walking into the library, this is what we're automatically going to find.
I'm not even going to make y'all roll for it. Y'all are capable enough to research. Let me put it this way. This is the only pertinent information that you can compile through an afternoon of research.
Zhonya.
Yes.
I found something called time casserole. Do you want the recipe?
The fuck?
I don't know. I can't read it.
We're not looking for food recipes.
I'm just going to hand it to her anyway.
I would just back pocket it later. Alright then. And so...
Did you luck out and find the first book you grabbed, Arten, was the one that you needed?
No.
I've gone through like 10 of them.
It's the 7th book I grabbed.
I mean, this is about the...
One of them was called The Bugbear and the 2 Sides of Beef. It was spicy.
I mean, that...
You should have known not to read that.
That the first one that I grabbed was called, basically... it was just basically called Tusk Love, and then I had to put that away immediately.
Tusk Love! I remember that one. Good
Which
times.
volume?
It was the 4th one.
Oh, spicy. That's a good one.
But anyway, then
Did you get to the end? That's where the last chapter.
I don't read a lot of romance.
It's not a lot of romance.
They cast slow in the last chapter. They go a little bit longer.
Yeah. Anyway, so what'd you find?
Okay. I have found a most recent journal entry titled The Shooting Stars. Shard locations were Strixhaven, Witherbloom Campus, the ORQ Hideout, RI Power Molly, Aura, Whip It Good, Molly. Okay, that we have been to Strixhaven before. Waterdeep,
Good.
Undermountain, Stardock, Army Gift. That we were just around town. That they went into Undermountain and Waterdeep.
That's a bad idea.
And then at Ixalan was Ozarka, Zorius, who is Onyx, and Theros just has blank blank blank.
There's missing pages and like blurs and like smudges that no matter how much Phil prestidigitates them, it doesn't clear them away.
But that's strange. All right, and who else wants to go? Because I have another entry, but I would like someone else to go first.
I've got one here, but it feels a little bit like notes, like someone was doing little bullet points on what to do, what happened.
This is your DM condensing things down for you.
I'm saying it was. They knew some bits, but they don't really go into detail. Like, so this is from the Phineas's Fantastical Freaks. They spelled freaks wrong, but
Did they spell it with a Q?
no, PH like an idiot.
No, PH.
Like an idiot, like a fool.
I mean,
PHOOL, fool. Anyway, so the shard locations were in Ixalan, near the River Guardian. Shadowfell, where the Raven Queen had it. Then in Ravnica, where Lazav, the Demir ally, had a shard. Then in Theros, where an apostle, the Aphrodite.
The location is Asphodel, and the person is the Aphrodite.
Asphodel, then Asphodite, Asphodite. In the Asphodel, it was the Asphodite.
Arten, you know that Asphodel is one of the cities of the Returned, the undead cities, and the Aphrodite are essentially a trio of leaders for that city. They're essentially a triumvirate ruling council.
Masks. Guys with masks, yeah. To put it in layman's terms, City of the Dead, lots of people who were risen, not zombies, but kind of like zombies. They wore masks on their face. They came back from the underworld.
Revenants?
Kinda. I don't like that town. It's not a fun town to go to. Nothing fun to do.
It sounds like it would be dead at night.
Dead during the day. Points. Anyway. So, next one was Delphine Borka.
A demi-plane.
It's a demi-plane. Where the Lords of Amber, and it just says in quotations, "do not let rise." Don't know what that means. If we come in contact with the Lords of Amber, we don't let it. Unlike the bread dough, you don't let it rise. Got it.
So we just need to throw salt at it.
Yeah, sure. And then in the Feywild, there's the Queen of Night and Shadow.
Oh, I have that on this one too.
Queen of Night and Shadow?
Yeah.
Bingo.
In the Feywild, or?
Yeah, Feywild.
I'm not gonna lie, this one smells like a lot of fire and old. Like there is smoke and ass, not ash, ass in the smell of this book. It is old.
This one just smells like spices and just. I am getting whiffs of grilled cheese. I don't know why.
This one smells like tulips.
That is. Phil holds up like the most dog-eared,
It's
chewed
fucking-
up.
It's fucking
journal.
delightful. Dude, smell this book.
It's nice.
Tulips.
Mimics it with prestidigitation. Would that be something to bring up later? In a bad time?
No.
Read your book.
Oh, so first off, I'm gonna have to skip a very large section at the very beginning. It's about the Turnbro Troop. There's something about there is a spat that might have been also a love triangle. It's a little spicy, but also
Can you?
right there. You see that? That's a very good use of the spell enlarge.
Yeah.
Very good.
Now, shard locations that are in through here, mixed in with all this other nonsense. Like, I don't even know how that one physically works. Ixalan, it was with Ozarka,
I have that.
the Azor Sphinx, too powerful to be mortal, so assuming they had to fight a Sphinx to get a shard. Eberron, House of Duvel, Defuncto is apparently an abandoned house. All I know about that town is there's a whole thing in here about a train job, so they have something called trains.
That could be one of two things.
Yes.
You know what? It seems like a large vessel, but that still does not help with anything.
One of two things.
Yeah. Innistrad, Olivia Valdrin, Vampire Queen. Soren Markov hates her guts.
Oh.
So apparently
Yeah.
one of those two.
Yeah.
I'm putting my bet on the Vampire Queen.
Yeah.
Feywild, Queen of Night and Shadow.
I do know a little bit about Soren, but go on.
But Queen of the Night and Shadow, Rest in Power. And then a Vivera Rain. Ooh, a lot of descriptions on this one. Don't know why you had to give centimeters on that. And then Strixhaven.
Metric system?
This says centimeters. It says centimeter. I don't know what that is. I'm assuming it's a unit of measurement.
Yes, that is a unit of measurement.
I mean, it's. I grew up knowing spans and hands.
I mean, it's still better than that imperial system that
What
you know
kind
that
of
the
span?
gnomes use.
How big is a hand? My hand and your hand are not
It's not
the same.
accurate at all. But like, this is a hand, and then a span. You're only going to
Mine
be
is
You're only
bigger
going to be a
than
finger
yours.
or two off. Strixhaven, College of Lorehold, beware of the
Oh, it was
Damegoth Lord. Damegoth Lord. There's also. What's that mascot for this household again?
Which house was that?
I was just hoping somebody would say one of the random mascots. I think Pest.
Well, that looks like a spirit for the red and the red white one. What was it called?
What's that one, Professor?
Spirit statue.
A spirit statue.
It just says go that.
Ghost spirits. Oh, okay.
Okay, it seems like that.
It all down here. It also says Pavin is a bitch.
So that they had to deal with Pavin.
No, I just said that myself.
Oh.
I'm gonna.
So,
This book's really old. I should not vandalize it.
so I have the next oldest as well from the Gemstone Goons. And then they had only was able to make one shard location. And that is the Feywild with the Queen of Air and Darkness.
Oh, fuck, no, not her,
Rest, that rests quietly, my friends. Allies, that they misspelled it. Royal Lavinia. Alice, Royal and Lavinia.
Did they die?
Yeah, I think so. Because then it seems like that the...
It's the only gem they retrieved.
Yes.
And then it said rest quietly.
So then I guess that the survivor that the Gemstone Goons basically wrote this. And
Weak sauce, Gemstone Goons. Weak sauce.
Right.
Don't judge them, because if that... Did you say Queen of Air and Darkness?
Yes, I did.
Alright, look, I don't know who the Queen of Night and Shadow is necessarily. I know that title in the Feywild. I've heard all those fairy stories, and that'll be fucking fun if that's what we're
And
doing.
then y'all can use these. Here is the book to compare as well.
So I have two more pieces of information for y'all that are a little longer in concept, so y'all can take whatever notes you want on these. In the journals for Phineas Fantastical Freaks, you do manage to find a synopsis of their final fight back in Israel. It talks about how Coil, who was already a Shadow Archive Shadow Monk, offered himself as Kairos' vessel. The rest of the freaks drew Phinos' attention by beginning the ritual to release the bound star Iseret. Iseret did not survive the sundering, and Phinos was obviously enraged. They held the god and his cultists off for long enough for Coil Kairos to raise the gate, to sever the plane into mortal and celestial. Coil survived, but took his own life after seeing his lover Anita had died in the fighting. One more synopsis from the Turnbrow Troops journal, the oldest one in the library. This one is the one that describes Daz. Says that Daz Mistan offered herself as Kairos' vessel. Phinos had made an ally of the Lord of Honeyed Lies through a mortal pact bound to the Fiend. This mortal, Edna Goldenshroud, fought side by side with the Lucaran cultists, wreaking great havoc as Kairos raised the Divine Gate. The battle swept the continent of Israel, multiple battalions of Lucarans fighting on behalf of their sun god, attempting to subjugate the masses with fire and sword. Once the gate was raised, Daz entered the battle, traces of the Void Lord's power lingering in her veins. She obliterated the leaders, including Edna Goldenshroud, saving us and Israel in the space of a few moments. She disappeared immediately after, and we have not seen her since. The Tenithras tell us she is well, but it would be all the better if we could see her just once more.
No, that's wrong. They don't want to see her right now.
I mean, then that's just interesting, because that, you remember, Arten, that, that the interrogation we had with that fellow? The Tauren guy. with the last name Goldswallow.
Yes.
Yes, it seems like that every version or just timeline may have some kind of gold family. So, what is up with that?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. Okay. So now that we know what happened to dolls, is this the same dolls that's in the shop?
I mean,
I would assume so. I don't think she went back to college to better herself afterwards.
I mean, that, that space-time continuum theory just states that, that it could have been another version of me elsewhere that didn't lose their memory. But at the same time, that, that it could just also be that wizard Schrodinger's theory, too.
I'm just going to assume that this is the Daz here that the document's talking about.
Okay.
Precisely.
So how can we use this information?
Well, my opinion is we need to be careful because we've already seen what one Kairos touch does when we open up the Cocoa Puffs box.
Obviously, we're not opening up the Cocoa Puffs box.
But we need to get one of those shards fixed, and she's the only one that can do it.
This is going to cost us.
Cost us what?
I don't know.
She did.
I traded off a broken memory shoved in my head by a former patron to get, and holds up the shard that is kind of tied and looped around as a necklace under, to get this. My head still hurts. Moves a little bit of dried blood that's still underneath the nose.
And then that I may be out of a place to go back to.
Wait, what did you do?
My Alan friend does not exist anymore.
What?
But I only know of him, but I felt a twinge.
Should we have
Wait,
gone who?
would it be who?
Who? Wait, actually, DM, do we remember this Alan friend?
That's my good question.
Okay, so who?
One of us is possessed by an owl.
That is the curse
Ooh.
that that is basically why that I always give that the immortality seminar about you have to be careful about falling in love if you deal with time magic, because that you can outlive those if that you can prolong your life.
You loved an owl?
No, I didn't love him. That he was a friend.
Because
Did we meet this friend? I don't remember an owl.
I don't remember an owl. Did we meet your Palamore?
Yes, that y'all had met him.
Palamore?
Yes, but then if y'all have no recollection of it.
Like a barn owl or a hoot owl? Like what kind of owl is it?
Hold on, is it one of those that transform and are really adorable but also terrifying the second they go skinny?
I heard of an owl once
He
at
was
Mandel Library.
very shy and basically.
Oh no, fuck that place. You don't want to go there.
He was shy and that awkward, but he was a good person. Anyway.
And scene.
So, I think we found information that you had stuff about the Feywild.
Yes.
I had stuff about the Feywild. You had.
We're gonna have to go to the Feywild.
But you know that most recent group though, then that they didn't have anything about Theros, so I guess I don't know.
Well, Theros wasn't one of the options. We had the Shadowfell and the Feywild left.
Right.
But we have a bigger question to deal with here.
What's that?
Once we get all these shards together, because I think we're all still in agreement, we release Kairos to deal with Finos so we don't have a whole planet burned down.
Yeah,
Right.
That's the general plan.
Yeah. Not planet, plane. Every one of these journals noted one party member became a vessel.
Yes.
That is how you get more Kairos touch, because I'm pretty sure Pavin and all the Kais we've met are those.
That is a very astute observation.
No, and one of them
I would agree with
committed
that.
suicide when they lost their lover. But we need to let him loose. But I'm sure if we were to dig through here for days, we'd find journals about other groups.
Right.
Arten, you said you saw all these faces behind me when I experimented.
Yes.
There's at least a dozen times this has happened before us.
And remember, we had the book. We had a book full of them.
Yes.
It shouldn't... If there's a way to stop it, we should stop this from happening again, because... Seriously, that's like an anxiety attack waiting to happen for future adventurers that just thought they were trying to haul shit to another town. And they end up on a galactic impacting adventure. Like, let's make sure the fight that we have to fight is not the future adventurers' fight.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
We went from one town to the next to make sure these pansies could get through a swamp.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And now we're on our what? 5th plane?
Right here.
4th plane?
This one went to the
8th
town on
plane.
the opposite end of the continent.
Yes.
Yep.
This one went south.
Mm-hmm.
This one went northeast. This one went west. They misspelled west. They wrote west.
Yes. I mean that.
Everyone that has started this went on a caravan.
Yes, that they had went on a caravan, and then that it was always by the Lucarans.
What the fuck is what is West?
I don't know.
What kind of idiot doesn't even know cardinal directions?
Look, you gotta understand. There might have been a barbarian that just learned the right keeping their journal, and we should be proud of it. Look, right here.
We should not be proud of
Look
the
right here.
non-barbarians who let the barbarian keep the journal.
Do you want to try to take a journal away from a barbarian? Look at this one. They
Create
drew
a second
flowers.
journal!
This one's talking about all the goblins that they got a hold of in another world, and then had a nice tea party.
I mean that you.
And then down here, there's a whole bunch about mist cats being assholes.
I mean, Arten, that you may want to check that the shooting stars and that there was a bunch of recipes also written down in the journal too.
That's where I found the time casserole.
The time casserole.
Okay.
So the question is, should we try to find out if we can stop this from happening again, or is this we do this and then good luck next time, nerds?
I mean that history is bound to repeat itself. No time pun intended there.
History never should repeat itself. Time is supposed to be linear.
Yes, that is true.
No.
And as a professor of time, that we can try to bend it to our will.
Absolutely not. Time is not linear. It's not a straight line. It's more wobbly.
We're just saying it's not cyclical. And right now we are in something cyclical, so this is not functioning the way it should.
I mean that all it is just like that bardic play at the circle of life. It always keeps going.
Oh, that
on.
bardic play, not the bardic play.
Yes, the bardic play. You know, we're
Talking about the same bardic play that we're not supposed to say the actual name of.
I am.
No. That's not the. Oh no, that's not the bardic play. That's the Ferelden play.
Fuck.
That's
I
the
mixed
one
them up again. My
I
bad.
know.
My fault.
No,
My
the
fault.
bardic play is the one where everybody's oops all bards,
Oops,
Yeah.
our balls, yeah.
and it just turns into Who Wants to Seduce a Dragon.
Everyone wants to seduce a dragon.
This is why we
it's
have
more of who can seduce a dragon.
Right.
Sorry, the bard in me.
My vote was always for Elvish Presley.
I mean that, but you know, like regardless of just that, we do have the research here that if that we can basically, if that y'all want, I can basically spend a few more hours researching it and turning it.
You're
into
not going to do this alone because look, at this point, we lost Tal'gor.
Right.
I'm pretty sure he has taken over Shady Creek Run,
Oh,
and I am
absolutely.
very proud of him.
I am proud of you myself.
It's a step down, really. You could do better.
You think he's not going to? He's going to start an empire.
But there are things that we can't mention, and also we still have to worry about the state of the Queen on Zrel.
Right. I'm just. Do we want to proceed as we have been proceeding, or do we want to try to make sure this is the final time it happens?
I don't think we can actually prevent it.
Right.
It feels like something that's beyond our
What's
abilities.
causing the repeat? If he's, I mean, other than this, there's a multiverse out there. That means if there was, to my understanding,
Correction. You know what? I think we can prevent it, but the only way to actually prevent it is to not release Finos and let everyone die.
That's not an option.
That's not an option I'm willing to take.
Then we can't
Except for except for that group right there. That was their option they chose.
I mean, that it's just basically just like hypothetically speaking here, if I became the vessel and somehow that that my time magic had interfused with just that a god's magic, could that stop it relatively?
I would rather the vessel be that bastard than you. Because if someone's gonna repeat time and someone's gonna be fucked in the head, let it be the monkey dog. You're welcome.
I mean, that you do have a point, but
It just has one knife. It's got a butter knife from the kitchen. It's like, when did you go down there?
You get a second knife.
Little Sebastian is so quiet.
that
Stealth
traveling
for
just
days.
with you all had made me actually realize that I try to live my life vicariously through my students, and I shouldn't do that. I should let them handle their own things, that they are grown men, women, elf, Goliath, even halfling.
My brain went straight to grown men, women, and children. That's not grown. The last one's not grown.
There's just a halfling looking at you. I'm not a child, asshole. I'm just short.
You're a grown child. Now leave me alone.
But regardless, regardless that, whatever happens, because then that one of my students had basically taught me this little phrase, Fafa. And then that I normally don't swear, but I have this written somewhere. It is basically called fuck around and find out.
There's been a lot of people that's happened to around us recently.
I feel like we've been in the fuck around stage for a while.
And we have just found out a whole lot. Look, I'm just asking, does this change our goals? No. Should it change the way that we're going to deal with it?
Yes, it should. That we have knowledge about it, at least that we know at least some leads, depending on the situation, because it seems like all of the journal entries, everyone had a different experience.
I don't mean to sound callous. I just don't think what we do is going to make a difference.
Wait. Hold up. I just thought of something. That not that did that like any other journal entries ever mention Erebos, because then that's something that I don't know.
If you're saying you're going to sacrifice my love,
No, I'm not saying that.
It's not written down in anything. He's
No.
not written down in anything. Erebos, did you find yourself in any of these books? And I don't mean the ones with the fold-out pages.
No.
Did you find yourself in a fold-out page book? You're going to want to get that book.
I've lived that book.
Yeah, but I'm just going to say, if you ever by yourself. Also, want to find out if it's tasteful or not.
It won't be. And that's why I like it.
So what should be our next course of action?
Hold on, wait. Go upstairs and check to see if there's any Erebos body pillows on any of the beds.
Oh my god.
It's
There are not.
It's just Erebos like this with his bow behind him and his lyre right here.
There is a tapestry balled up in a corner in a closet.
A tapestry?
Can it be unfolded, or is it stuck to itself? Ball
Oh, hold on, hold on. You hold this in. I'm going to unroll the bottom. Why are we still going?
Yeah, we are.
Larger than life.
It's the tail. He has a very long, girthy tail.
Oh god.
Oh god.
That
Yeah,
ain't
he
girthy.
does.
It ain't girthy. What are you talking about?
Why is it girthy?
Wait,
Why is it girthy?
That tail done lifted some weights. He didn't skip tail day in that reality.
Why is it girthy?
Alright.
God.
Let me do this.
Should have said muscular. Would that have been better for the tail?
No.
do y'all want to spend another couple hours until, like, dark continuing to search, or do you want to move on with that information we have?
Professor, is there anything else you think you could find here?
I think that the more knowledge we have is possible until dark at least, because then that I don't want to...
Where are we going to stay? The tents are gone.
That is a good question. I mean, do we complete the cycle and ask the Teniferous siblings to basically, if we can stay just one night here?
We're not in the Teniferous siblings' house. We're in the...
We're on
house
their
stay.
land.
Right.
Yes. We'll ask if we can stay in this building.
Well, how about Arten and I go ask? Professor, you keep looking. I'll leave little Sebastian to help you.
Take
Her
the
eyes
Sebastian.
just kind of like light up like...
No, we won't. We will not leave little Sebastian to help you.
So Sebastian just takes the glasses that he had put on, back off, tucks them into Phil's pocket.
I mean, that Grog can stay. I mean, then I'm pretty sure then that there is probably something about buttons up in one of these books.
Yes.
Oh, he's already knee deep into, like, a pile of books that are all about, like, textiles and fabricry.
He is
Grog,
going
have
to
you
make a
found
fine
out about-
tailor one day.
Grog, have you found out about polyester yet?
Polly, what?
It's all throughout the Astral Sea.
I know Polly wants a cracker.
Good, okay. It's better than Rayon, trust me.
Rayon what?
Well, Rayon was on Unlucky Captain Laser and he caught fire.
Rayon was on the... That sentence doesn't make sense.
It's flammable, Grog.
That the semantics of that's a weird type of fabric, if it is a fabric.
Nominally.
Okay.
Alright, and I will be I will be into the books.
Okay. So,
Book read. Smart am I.
Zhonya,
Mm-hmm.
I want you to roll a D100.
Okay. Wow.
I'll allow you to spend an inspo if you want.
Okay, go to last year. Kind of shit.
What happened there?
No going?
I have rolled. Okay, that's fine. 23.
The sweet, sensual chocolate inside Hewitt's
Alright.
mouth made him bite his own lip.
Yes.
Oh.
But not in the fun, sexy way.
No, like, fuck, I've got a hole in it now.
Oof. Okay.
In the kinky, sexy way.
You're hunting around, you're going back through the books that had, like, more of the, like, the private journals of the big four groups, the Phineas Fantastical Freaks, the Shooting Stars, the Terminal Troop. You managed to find, kind of tucked away, almost near the back of one of these journals, it was almost hidden in amongst the other pages, a scribbled, almost illegible journal entry written in what looks like the author's own blood. This particular journal is from a warlock who specifically had entered a pact with Mina shortly after they got into this whole shard hunt scenario. And the entry, the page, it almost seems like it's words or sentences being given through the person, not their own thoughts, but someone else's thoughts. But it doesn't really give a lot of explanation about what they saw or what they were doing at the time. It seems like a record of something that had to be written down.
We're off to see the wizards, the four wizards of the season. They're not really wizards, they're kind of like little gods.
Because.
The four little gods of the seasons.
Ba-da-ba-da-bum-ba-da-bum.
Going through multiverse crisis. That's what I'm gonna put that down as.
So let's jump over to you guys real quick. Y'all head back across the valley. You're heading back to the castle. Castle's still pink. It's a little more of a salmon color now, rather than just rosy pink.
Yes, salmon.
And Mia, her chipper, green-haired self, she's got like an Adirondack lawn chair on the top step of the castle entryway.
She is treating the portcullis and main stairway as a porch.
Yes.
She has the most epic stoop.
She has a wine glass in one hand, and she's watching butterflies flitting around. What do you want?
I love what you've done to the place.
Thanks.
Gorgeous. Mistress Mia, we've come to ask a favor. It seems that we are...
Oh, wrong terminology. But continue.
We would just like to stay the night at the house over there.
I thought that was implied.
Oh,
We wouldn't give you a key if you weren't allowed to stay.
Oh, that's
Silly.
That's very sweet of you. Well, we assumed we only had the key to research and had to leave by the night.
So polite. I don't know what to do with that. Nobody's ever that polite. You can't be real.
well, he is. Especially these guns.
Real. I think
That
the
is
butterflies
what they
need a
say.
change of coat.
Chartreuse?
Violet.
Ooh.
Can you make them sparkle?
Oh, it's getting dark. Can they glow?
Glowing violet butterflies? And she just, like, the wine glass drops and she just disappears inside. you can catch it. I'm not going to be a
If she
mean
makes
about
it happen, I'm going to name them Lunesta.
Those things. Because I'm assuming he's down a couple steps. Just.
She's already inside. She's disappeared.
I'm going to chase in that direction.
Oh.
I doubt I'll catch her.
So Phil's just left standing holding the wine. Oh God. Lil Sebastian need to make me a con save.
Where is little Sylvester sheep? I don't have it.
I don't have it. I gave it to you.
He does.
No, I don't. I don't have a little. Was it on regular paper?
Yes. Because I wrote it on loose leaf.
Loose leaf.
I thought I passed it back with Grog since it wasn't mine.
It wasn't. It's not in my.
Why is there a bit? Oh God, Pathfinder sheets are like so fucking long for no reason.
It's not with the grog sheet.
Because Lil Sebastian's not in my files, my dude.
I swore I gave him back. There's Sog.
Oh, no, you can open.
Well, in any
No,
case, he
'cause
rolled
all I've
a
got
9.
All I've got is the festival stuff, the map of Elbrook, and my notes from last week's shopping and shit.
Lil Sebastian's character sheet abandoned one of us.
I'll make another one for next time, damn.
But
Alright.
he rolled a 9, which I'm assuming, even with the bonus, is a fail.
Yeah. Okay, so, Lil Sebastard, as he manages to get his face in the cup before you can get him out of it, as you push him away and hold the cup away, his eyes go really big. His tail kind of slumps down your back, and he just kind of... He has stoned out his mind.
Go ahead and clip it.
Lil Sebastard is absolutely stoned out of his mind.
I sit down on the arm of the Adirondack.
Okay, so you were trying to chase her down.
I call out to her, Miss Mia! Mia!
She is up the stairs up the promenade stairs in the main hall and around the corner.
Just gonna say, because I'm inside now.
Yeah, you are.
And it echoes a little bit, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say in a
like
very
grand
loud
entry.
voice, I want to make my wish.
From a parlor, off on one side, or like a sliding door opens, and the Winter brother, Emerald, is standing there wearing his pale silver suit. Got his hair up in a man bun.
Man, I was hoping he was going to come out in his smoking jacket. House slippers.
And he says, I could help with that.
Don't trust Hades.
It was Emerald, right?
Indeed.
Pardon me, I don't know the correct vernacular for your titles here, so just be that.
Lord will be fine.
Lord, fine.
Shut up.
Lord Emerald, I was given a wish.
Mm-hmm. Do you have the coin?
I do. And I hold the coin up and I place it into his hand.
As you're reaching to reach it, he says, speak your wish as you place it in my hand.
To be stronger than I've ever been, in every way.
As the coin makes contact with his palm, it begins to burn so cold that you feel bits of the skin on your paw beans starts to rip away.
You get the rhyme on your fingers.
He grasps the coin in his fingers, a flash of silvery white goes up, and he says, it's done. Enjoy yourself.
Same to you.
Go ahead and boost all of your ability scores by 2. All of them.
You got your decks back.
So while you're working on that, so we've got a stoned Shug and Shuck. We said Shuck, and
Because if you say Stone Shug, I'm just assuming again I got Stone Shug Knight with me now, and that is way that
it's been a few weeks. Okay, I slept since then. A stone Shuck on your shoulder. You can see Arten inside, up the stairs inside the main hallway talking to the silvery Eladrin. And after a couple of minutes, Arten comes back. There's a little bit of a cliche. There's a bit of a glow that kind of
I
illuminates
just watched
him.
his true potential be unlocked. Guru put his hand on top of Arten's head and went, ultimate power.
Phenomenal cosmic power!
Phil's just sitting there going, okay.
Potential unleashed.
I'm over here not wanting to go in this castle right now. But if Arten has something bad happen, I'm gonna throw a drunk whatever this is.
You gotta throw a drunk whatever.
Familiar
this is.
rain, go.
Familiar rain.
Okay.
Wait.
So,
I have to absorb that, and now we're good.
alright, so y'all have permission to stay the night in that house. That mini mansion. Is there anything y'all want to do on your way back to the house, or are y'all heading basically straight back?
How are you feeling?
Good. Very good.
Because you're doing something with your face that's very odd for you. Yeah, smiling's hard, I know.
It takes so much more muscles.
But you have, like, yours are definitely showing. Did you do, like, CrossFitting there with him?
It's a CrossFit. Oh, wait. Was that exercise that one man was doing when he carried the cross up the mountain?
No, that's called flagellation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How else do you explain them abs on the crucifix, though?
All he did was walk and eat fish. I mean, come on.
High protein.
Low body
Cardio.
fat.
Did a couple laps on top of a lake, though, when nobody was looking.
Look, man, I don't know.
And plus that he was a carpenter, so that's...
That would explain, that would explain the upper bodies.
He was a carpenter for like a little bit.
But
For
still...
a little bit.
Okay, apprenticeship starting back then was like 15, dude. Like, he worked a whole ass career.
8.
Before he became...
Like 8 years old.
Like, he had a whole ass career before he decided to go around with a bunch of dudes and tell people about his dad in the sky.
This dude's over here giving a sermon while making dovetails and some shit. Oh, hold on.
The sermon of the dovetails and the sliding dado.
Just that.
Now all I see is Nick Offerman. And yea, verily, the children may come to me.
What would I would have gotten a second
And learn trades.
While
so
he's
they-
building a boat.
Not much better.
So, Phils, do we need to stop in anywhere? Do we need anything
Okay,
else to do? Do we need to get armor polish?
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay.
Do we need to see Daz real quick?
We're gonna talk to your dad for... No, we don't need to see Daz at the moment. Not until we know what we're talking about.
Valid.
Okay.
I mean, we can always try to get another pulls. Like, I feel like every time Phil pulls the stone up, it's like got like that slightly looks like it's radioactive glow to it.
Absolutely. So y'all make it back to the house. As the daylight is fading, there's a bunch of light fixtures and stuff that weren't turned on earlier, but we Motel 6'd this, and now they left the light on for you.
Yeah.
Hold on. Good. So that Arten and everybody's turn the lights on and off all night. That'll be appreciated.
So
Just turn it. We have dark vision. Alright?
Yeah, but the rest of us that are sleeping don't need a strobe effect going.
Zorina comes about halfway down the spiral staircase as y'all open the front door, and then she heads back upstairs. So y'all are pretty sure that Zhonya's still in the library.
By the way, check this out.
Those pupils are dilated to hell and back.
The fuck happened to him?
Drink out of her wine glass after I caught it.
That's how you catch diseases.
I think this is how you cause diseases. Like, do you think... Okay, hold on. Do you think the Eladrin have something that this is going to catch and not be immune to?
Here's
Now,
no,
the
no,
other way around, though.
You listen to me right now. It goes Eladrin, dog monkey, people, and then everyone dies.
I'm saying, I feel it goes, Little Sebastard, Eladrin, elves, we're responsible for possible genocide.
Shit, the Eladrin's gonna get sick. Drink after a dog monkey. Did you pour it out afterwards?
No!
Pour one out for the dog monkey homie.
She dropped it. She didn't expect it to be there.
She's not going to drink this tomorrow.
She's gonna drink it tonight.
She is not going...
She's drinking it right now.
Bless you.
You've already got it. Son of a bitch!
Just press... Okay, as Phil
And
does
it
the
just,
second...
I get across the street from him.
As
No!
the second time,
Absolutely
as Phil
not.
sneezes the second time, he's going to do prestidigitation so that, like, a bright green light flashes out from between his fingers. Oh.
You're a piece of shit and another prestidigitation. You would use a prestidigitation on every fucking thing. You're a piece of shit. But you still got something I don't want. Fuck away from me.
You know it's funny.
It's funny the first 5 days.
Zorina,
You have done... Look, you did it yesterday.
Zorina is just gonna just blink down, just kind of whimper like, and then just blink back up.
We should check on the professor.
She is probably buried so far in books.
That's why the dog is whining.
No, the dog... Well, no, she could let herself out. It wouldn't be because she had to go.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, where's Erebos?
Oh. Still here.
Okay. Didn't know if, like... You
Pops out
got
of the
real
corner.
quiet.
Hey!
He just pops up from behind Arten.
DM NPC brain is tired.
I don't fully understand because when there's the DMPC and then a NPC, it's like, I don't want to talk to myself.
Right, precisely, indeed, 1000%.
I'll go ahead and see if there's something we can cook for dinner. You check on her.
Good.
I'm also going to stick this on the sofa with the bucket.
Alright, so to make life easy here, there's a few staples and stuff in the kitchen that you're pretty sure weren't there when you passed the doorway earlier. They have a faint smell of cinnamon. Even the brisket. But there's like small amounts of perishables and things like that. There's a little carton of eggs. So there's stuff that you can make, foodstuffs. And going upstairs.
Basically, as soon as Arten is upstairs, that you are just seeing her just going, no, that can't be right. That's... Wow, that's...
Professor.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
You okay?
Check out that this entry from it was the Freaks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, it was one of the four. It doesn't really matter which one.
Okay, then check out this entry right here. That it was a little bit of like a slip of page hidden just up in the back. And then that it was from like a warlock of Mina. Whenever it is scribbled in blood. And then I guessed then that she must have been the vessel. That basically that these were her last words right here.
Sorry. It's gonna take your glasses off of you.
That you can't see through them, but they're just clear aesthetic glasses like every single TikTok girl.
Wow.
That you know that one aesthetic, they all dress the same.
And I tossed note cards everywhere when I moved the book.
It's fine. It is fine. I got them all.
Good. Let's see. Words are sent. Written. What I have done otherwise. Oh, I guess I could read it out loud. Being on TV and everything.
Yeah.
I'm smart. I went to college. Have a degree in speech communication and running a business. That's what I do. I didn't read out loud.
And we're so proud of you.
I'm so proud of me. Goodness. Go through the multiverse crisis. Would I have done otherwise, chosen another path, seeking what I have created by my choice? I will make this right when I am free. Seems like his...
That is her inner thoughts.
Does it continue?
No,
I wanted to make sure because there's more here. And
right, then reading. That you know that is her inner thoughts. That those are my inner thoughts.
For those of you paying attention, that's actually part of the script from the current Tears of Kairos trailer. Wink.
When I am free.
And our lovely Miro Hewitt over there is the one who voiced that trailer for me because he's amazing and it was awesome.
I just have the baseline for it. The only thing that I wanted to do and I didn't was, where's my cheese whiz?
It seems very, very potential that could happen.
Why is it cheese whiz? What is that?
And also, did your muscles get bigger or something, Arten?
Blues Brothers.
Hardly.
I know nothing.
A little.
Oh.
A little.
It looks good on you. But this is very worrying about. It seems like to me that whoever is going to become a vessel, then if they lose their self. And especially with this written just up in blood, it seems like that they had to force this last bit of consciousness before that their consciousness went away.
I'm mostly just concerned. I mean, I already assumed that having to share your vessel with a god
Right.
would probably fuck you up in some way, shape, or form.
Yes.
But having my concerns validated.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we could always just put this down and walk home. All the deaths be on our shoulders, or we could leave. We as a group have chosen to save people because we can.
Right.
And this is the only way anyone has found out to save anyone. But again, it speaks to the idea that we can't stop the cycle.
Right.
What it does also say, which is concerning, is that Daz, who became one with Kairos a while ago,
Yes.
may not actually be Daz anymore.
Right. I mean, that's concerning that if we basically show her the correct shard, what is the gamble that we will be taking for basically just buying the restoration of the shard piece?
Could be the memories that you had before 7. Could be your first kiss. Could be the fact that we have other shards in this bag beside me.
I mean that.
We could give up any one thing.
Honestly, that, if that I'm not going to be a vessel, then what else do I have to lose? That my life debts have already been owed by Tal'gor. That has been paid. That I had lived my life. That now that my livelihood is practically worthless now. So what else do I have to lose?
That's a sad fucking statement. Don't say those words again.
Phil comes through the door holding bell peppers and beef. You're full of shit. I've told you before you're full of shit. That is still the shit that you are full of. Arten's right. Don't say it again. Also, bell peppers and beef.
Thank you, Fil'verl.
I left out onions because I forgot if anyone had an alum allergy. Looks at Grog.
No,
I feel he's built a book for it.
but
What's alum?
Onions.
They make you cry. Why would you want to eat them? They make you cry.
They taste good.
They do.
if we do make it all through this, then I will end up probably like devoting the rest of my time on the material plane or wherever plane to basically becoming a researcher to try to figure out how to stop this cycle. That's one thing I can possibly live for.
For as long as you're in your own mind.
I mean,
Are we talking about that everyone we've met that's touched Kairos has come back nutty?
No,
no,
not nutty.
not nutty.
Their true self has slowly dissolved, and all that's left is the remnants of Kairos.
That tracks.
So, if you were to become that vessel, there's no undoing it. And you will not be in your own mind for very long. Does it say how long this was since she became the vessel?
It did not say how long.
In Daza, in the Turnbrow Troop
Yeah.
book?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Did they like date the page in blood before?
Right.
It was like January 2nd,
Year 7529.
year of our Lord.
The main, whichever one of the party was the main, record keeper, was keeping it in we'll say, Faerunian time scheme.
Mm-hmm.
And it's dated before the first spell plague.
That's a hot minute ago.
Is anywhere from 800 to 1800 years prior.
I was more asking, like, from the moment she became that she became the vessel until the moment she wrote this, to kind of give me a timeline of how long it takes for your consciousness to be dissolved.
No, the blood note.
Yeah.
Was not Daz's.
No, it was the warlock.
Yeah, no, not Daz, but like the warlock. From the moment the warlock became the vessel to the moment the warlock wrote.
Okay,
doesn't have to do with anything. They don't have to date
that
anything.
the note was not. You've been saying that it was her last thoughts, and that's you only rolled a 23. That's
right,
not that's not quite accurate. It's
right.
it's near the end of that particular journal.
Mm-hmm.
But if you compare it with the rest of the journals from that group, she wrote it before their final battle in Israel. She was still alive.
So, let's break this down so that we understand it. To release Kairos, one of us has to become his vessel because he is literally nothing. He is the void. He is the force of destruction that hooked up with the force of creation and resulted in everything that is Israel plus asshole.
Right.
So he doesn't have a physical form to exude his influence over this.
Right.
He has to take one.
Right, and then that's what I was reading.
And you're shoving a god into a mortal's brain. You will die. Mm-hmm. This is literally trying to shove an alligator in a handbag.
Little Sebastian. Kairos. Little Kairos.
You know what? Let's keep that as a plan. However, I'm pretty sure Kairos is big on consent, and I don't think little Sebastian can give it. Especially...
Not the best decision making from the
really loud down there. Don't think he can do that. I mean, we're not going to let Grog do it.
I wasn't going to say Grog. I was never going to say Grog.
Right.
No, I'm just saying let's go ahead and, as players, agree that no NPC has to make this sacrifice.
Fine. Little Sebastian's hardly even an NPC. I just felt like it was a good scapegoat.
Fine. Let's go back to...
Hashtag no scapegoats. Got it.
Okay, fine. How about we go back to, what was that, Zorhaus? We'll get the asshole that hired us, we'll tell him we're taking him to a great party, and then we'll just throw him at Kairos. That'd be a terrible idea. We would never sleep again.
The sad part is, Essek would probably agree to that.
It'd be something worse. It'd be something so much worse. But
instead of a Dark Lord, you would have a queen!
We would have a Karen.
No, we would have a theme. We'd have a theme. But look, let's break this down. So to accomplish our mission, one of us is going to have to make a pact with Kairos, which will create another Kai, which I didn't think we were super down with. But we might not have a choice. That's why I asked earlier if we were going to try to research a way to break the cycle, and we probably don't have time.
I mean, that considering that...
I'm not saying there's other depositories of knowledge.
Yes.
Right, but with just that, my role that I got that, I had only took this journal entry as if that this warlock was struggling because then that they were basically...
They're getting
fighting to basically make some kind of note of this before that they're fully taking over. So then that is why that it is more so thoughts or anything that, but yet I don't know character or player wise that if it is before or after the whole, big battle.
She said it was before the final battle.
It was before that. It was before that timeline's final battle. The other two of you, if you would like, you can roll a D100, and you can spend 1 inspiration if you would like to, for more information.
Phil's gonna look at the group.
For luck.
Say, look. based on what we found, if there's not a way to break this before we go do it, like if there's not a way we can find to deal with this, because there's not an option where we don't let Kairos out to deal with Finos, because either we can create another multiverse threat or we can let an entire reality get destroyed. Can we make the agreement based on dangerous out of all of us? We don't let Arten make the deal. If I made the deal, you could kill me. If you made the deal, it's going to take a whole lot more for us to kill you.
2 words. Heat metal.
Yeah, I get that, and it's going to take a minute. It'll take a minute, but let's just go based on, yeah, you might, over the course of 10 to 20 minutes, if one of us got away, yes.
We're gonna roleplay that he's lecturing and I'm just like poking through books. It's like, because I rolled a 75.
Yeah.
Okay. With your new strength, stronger than you've ever been before, you feel yourself gravitating toward one of the shelves kind of in the back of the library space.
Insight.
And
Insight the book. No, it's lying.
There's a
It's fucking full of shit.
It makes sense that the other two have missed it because it's on the top of this shelf.
They're short.
It's like it's way up top.
It's on the tippy top. It wasn't standing up; it was laying down, so you couldn't even see it was there.
And it was kind of pushed back a little bit into the middle of like the board. So
is it behind a bust of some famous adventurer?
No, it's got a layer of dust on it that's like an inch thick.
Did it open a secret door that led you to another book?
No.
Damn.
It is a very thin book. It seems like a lot of pages have been ripped out of it. But when you open it up, it appears to be a spell book. And there's a lot of symbolism and like numerical calculations that you recognize from seeing Zhonya working her stuff. This seems like it might actually be chronergy type of magic.
Huh. Zhonya,
Yes.
what do you make of this?
Let's see. Then
It looks like a spell book that you may have worked on. It's not your handwriting, but it is your type of spells.
Wait, then
Zhonya, as you're looking at it, you can tell that this is extraordinarily high-level chronergy. It's stuff that would take you hours, if not days, to begin to decipher. As y'all are flipping through it, there's a particular page that has a note written in common that seems to be kind of a thought process note that says, "Send him back so he doesn't make the mistake."
Send him back so he doesn't make the mistake.
If his heart's not broken, the shards don't exist.
If his heart's not broken, shards don't exist.
But many of the diagrams and the notations on first glance, it seems like they're either unfinished or not. The creator of this spell book or whatever was not happy with their final product. They left it behind for a reason.
I understand this.
Yes.
It makes sense. Could you do that?
Within theory, yes.
What do you need to do that?
Well, I'm going to need a bigger magical focus. That
I could find a bigger watch.
that probably more like.
Wasn't. I might be remembering wrong. But I remember shortly after getting drilled, wasn't there a very large clock in one of the towns? I don't know if you... I can't remember the name of the city.
We about to dress this girl up like Flavor Flav. The biggest fucking clock we can
It's going to
find.
steal Big Ben from another town.
I don't remember Big Clock.
I don't remember
Why are
Big
we talking
Clock.
about Big Clock?
She's just gonna
It's
be walking
Phil
around
misremembering
Embersong.
Okay, too literal.
Sorry, it is literally
was
literally
thinking this
Phil.
was canon that I forgot.
No, Phil is trying to remember something because I don't even remember the name of the town you said he first came in, but it was on the coast.
The first trees.
The first trees was.
The first tree's at the center. That's where we started. Phil showed
Are
up.
you talking about
Final
Final Spade?
Final Spade. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the big clock in front of Spade?
I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I thought I remembered it, but I could also be remembering like you still know my brain is rattled, right?
How does something become a focus?
Something you have to basically imbue it with just magical energy. That's why I had favored a pocket watch over just basically a wand, because that beat not at before my memory lost. I was working on a project, but I just know that it was like I had a bunch of broken just pocket watches, and then I was trying to make a bigger version, somewhat like an hourglass or some kind of dais almost.
We're gonna get you a whole clock backpack.
Okay. So, here's the thing. This, like, spell in progress, this work in progress, potentially problem-fixing spell, you're going to have to spend a goodly amount of time not only going through and deciphering it, but figuring out why it wasn't working, why this individual who wrote this didn't take it all the way. This also gives your DM time to actually figure out what the hell I need to do. This is going to take you at least a day or two to even have a starting point to go from.
Okay.
And potentially even more time if you need to do, like, experimentations or actually, if the thing's unfinished, you're going to have to find a way to finish it.
Right. Day or two of research. And then that still in character, just besides that I feel like that I am missing just another poignant part of my magic, but I just don't know what it is yet. Yeah, and then as soon as I get to that point, I do believe I think I will remember almost everything that has happened.
Okay.
But thank you for finding this. I don't know how I overlooked it.
You didn't overlook it. You underlook it.
It was way up top.
Well, I mean, it was way up there, and neither one of us are going to see that.
That's fair.
Hold on.
That you had did very
Little
good.
Sebastard. Okay, we can't get him to go on top of the rest of the shelves.
He'll fall off.
But, so what are we going to do
Roll.
about our quarters tonight?
Upseas.
We can leave.
What
We'll
about
stay
before
here.
there's a lot
Oh,
of
we stay
dust?
here? Okay.
Anything else up there?
Ring.
The lords of this town.
It's just a single
They said,
copper wire.
they said when they gave us the
That's
key,
yours.
they assumed we were staying the night.
It's not
Oh,
a button,
well then,
but it can be used on
We actually
buttons.
found it quite
Give me a
amusing
button.
that we were so kind to
I'll give it
assume we
back.
weren't.
I mean, that's what
And the
my
ring.
mom had always taught me, to always be nice.
That damn Southern hospitality showed up in game right there.
I mean, that's just, don't you know that's just elves for you, to be nice. Because my mom was an elf.
We need to give him button dusters. Just give him nothing but brass knuckles made out of buttons.
But
Dusters. Oh.
I will take the room closest to the library.
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break and we will come back and see what other shenaniganery.
While she is in the library studying and trying to decipher things, I'm going to be just outside of the library, within 60 feet,
Okay.
to give continuous inspiration
Oh.
for as long as I'm awake. So
Well,
that,
also, if she needs a research assistant, if there's any roll, Phil will
Helps,
stay around to get
yeah.
advantage on those rolls.
yeah.
Okay.
So like getting that extra D6 to ability checks and stuff,
Okay.
and then give an advantage.
Okay.
Get you to grow.
Okay. Alright. We'll come back and finish up research.
We're muted.
There we go.
There we go. No,
Yay, we're back.
Now
Ow.
we're back.
Okay.
What did you step on?
Part of my floor peeling up.
So let's jump straight back into this. Did
The professor has advantage plus a d6 if she's doing any other research.
yeah? Go ahead.
Okay.
Do what you gotta do.
Oh my god. That the odds. Natural 20 and a 2 for, would that be investigation?
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a total of 31.
1,000.
This is a Pathfinder, okay?
Infinity.
Pity.
With a natural 20, so that'll be
Okay.
31.
So, on top of the kind of the beginning to get repetitive information that you're finding in these journals, most of them have the same kind of, like, we found shards here, there, and everywhere. Final fight was a shit show, but we survived. Some of us did, you know, that kind of shit.
I lost my foot.
And more of the Kairos touched from Kai's book Family Album that you had already taken note of. You find references to them running throughout. The only other piece of new information that you get is that you actually find the origin story for the one really, really bad Kairos touched.
Did they just list him as C?
No, his full name is written. Because he was actually he was one of those changed star beings that Finos was trying to turn into batteries, Horcruxes. Like when y'all met Zaz before. Carlo was originally Catalan. And Catalan, rather than staying behind Dinsrael while everybody went off hunting shards, Catalan felt a vested interest in making sure this went off properly and followed along. By the time they made it back to Israel to release Kairos, Catalan decided that having access to the Void God's power would break them from this mortal coil. That after all they'd been through, they could get some of their own back. Catalan killed the majority of the rest of their party, very physically disabled the one survivor who lived to write the tale of what happened. And without any other options, Kairos was forced to use Catalan as his vessel, and it really messed up the whole arc of everything. The Divine Gate did not get made properly. Catalan refused to allow Kairos to do that, and sundered their bond with Kairos almost as soon as they had it, hoping that that would release them back to their original home point of the stars. When it didn't, and they were left changed yet again, Catalan became Carlo, and their entire point of existence now is killing anyone who thinks they can use the shards, taking shards, and attempting yet again to send themselves back home, even though they're so far gone that there's no way it's going to happen.
Man, he gotta have like 8, 9 Kairos hearts at this point, based on the number of other parties that have gone through here. He just like you go into his room in this other hellish abyss, and it's just like a disco ball of Kairos shards.
Okay, alternate ending. If the shards ever get stolen from us, we just say his name, kill him, and then we have the shards again.
You know, I can't argue with that logic that possibly would be an outcome.
Just say,
but
will we win the fight?
But mathematically,
Probably not.
mathematically, I don't know if the odds are in our favor.
We're talking about a dark celestial aberration with god power.
That's gonna probably be a CR30. Just meta. Yeah.
I'm not saying a party as is right now can do it. I'm just saying,
I'm gonna throw out there probably a close basis for the stat block for this. What are they called, Spence? They're like the pseudo Titan children of gods that aren't
The
quite.
Deva?
No, it's not Deva.
What, planetars?
God, no, they're not quite. It's what Mercer used in Search for Grog. It's not quite a planetar, because planetars are still a celestial. These are like they are somewhat celestial. They're like 20 feet
Empyrean.
tall. There we go.
Oh. God
That's
dang
just you
it.
out of character going. This is what my mindset is saying.
God
What that
dang it,
CR
from
danger would be.
So you mean to tell me that they got Empyreans in their world? Good God. Anyway.
So, was that book that one useful?
Her expression is just wide-eyed. That you actually see like actual sweat stay on her skin. It's preparation. It's not burning off or anything.
Is it anime sweat?
It is nervous sweat.
I'm going to prestidigitate that away for my own mental health.
and I'm just out there just.
Well,
Arten, please stop playing Wonderwall.
Well then that essentially that the one that we are not going to name, it was a older entry, to where then they were much like us, starting off hunting for shards and such. However, that they decided that they basically wanted to ascend to godhood and release themselves from a mortal coil, in a sense.
Okay, so it makes sense that the one that I've not even read his name, the one you're saying we should never say the name of,
Correct.
Is the oldest out of all of this. This makes sense.
And essentially that the divine gate for Kairos did not open. That they stopped that.
Okay, so in other words, he's claiming to be an alpha, which is way weaker than beta or full release. We could be the full release team. You know what? Let's know. Arten, you did not hear that, Arten.
And basically that they have put the world into an age of like nothing was solved, in a sense. And in that basically that they transformed into, and then they started hunting those.
So we have a sentient black hole that is coming after us. Is that the best way to put it?
I would say more like a
Well, he was a star, right?
Right.
And now he is pure evil void. He's a black hole.
Right.
But still corporeal.
But still,
that's what I'm saying. He's a walking black hole. This is literally just a force is there to consume and destroy. Oh my God, he's an angry toddler. There is no conscience, and he's just going to eat everything.
I do appreciate that the help that y'all have given me, because this is a lot to take in.
It is. I think it's best if you go to bed. I think it's best if everybody goes to bed. And then we figure this out more clearly in the morning. Because right now, you are going cross-eyed looking at these books.
That is true.
And I'm assuming there's like 8 blink shits outside right now because Zhonya no one's let her out.
She can blink through the walls.
I know. I'm saying this is like, I feel like I have a weenie dog that if I do not give him constant attention, he is in my lap. I stop touching him. Immediate whining. She is currently the blink weenie dog. I feel like this little thing who is normally the most like staunch defender is saying like, I want belly rubs. I'm gonna go dig. I'm gonna chew on something I'm not supposed to. I gotta pee. I can blink outside and pee. I'm gonna whine now. I feel like there's just a small dog that's been underneath the table asking for fries.
Oh, not the French fries. That makes potato farts.
You alright, Fil'verl? I do need to go to bed because it's been ages since I have poured through literally thousands of lines of text, and it is a lot.
As Zonya's leaving, Phil's gonna look at her. Professor,
Yes.
do all of us a big favor. Never say that emo bullshit again. You have reasons to live. Because I told you before, you've done some bullshit, which means you have to fix it and make up for it. If you die, you can't. So you have a reason to live, and that is to be the teacher you always claimed to be. So go out and actually do it. And please don't let me hear you saying that you should go ahead and die and you have nothing to live for.
Thank you. And she goes to bed.
Hearts. Hello?
Phil, what the fuck was that?
So, I was trying to find it, but none of that's going to work. So, this whole time, I've been out there playing with the lyre, but August Rush style, like, ping, but it's very pretty. That's why I was trying to find it. She made that face, like, what the fuck's that supposed to mean? It's
My auditory processing has been bullshit the last few days, so like that's not a what is that? It's a am I hearing correctly? Okay, now I can begin to think about what that is. August Rush it was a movie, right?
It was about a little boy
Yeah, with a guitar, right?
that like just magically had musical abilities.
yeah.
Okay.
And he was played by the kid from James and the Giant Peach. Probably
Oh
not.
yeah, that lanky bastard.
No, it's probably not him. I'm just going off of that he had like kind of curly hair and big ears, and so did the puppet.
Yeah. No, I mean that's what he looked like. Yeah.
So, it's a type of playing on the guitar it's not strumming, but it's plucking and tapping.
Harpsichord.
This.
That's fun.
We gotta get him a hurdy-gurdy.
I love hurdy-gurdy, by the way. Like, I can listen to hurdy-gurdy for an hour straight. It's so much fun.
It's like Mongolian throat singing for me.
Oh, same thing. Dude, my music taste is eclectic as hell. That's cool. I dig. Okay. So...
Figured more instrumental would be better than me in the background singing "Blinded by the Light."
Okay. So, bed. Finishing strumming and plucking.
Yeah,
and
just playing a little bit.
You made dinner. We're assuming people ate.
Yeah. Phil's gonna go to wherever Arten is playing.
Yeah. You got him. Not that hard to find.
Arten.
Soup!
You don't have to stop. It's really good.
Sorry, I was kind of in a zone, but I'm out now. What's up?
You went to war.
Yeah.
Part of war is doing cost-benefit analysis, is not.
Unfortunately.
Drama.
No. If one of us has to make the deal, logically, who is the best to make it? Don't say yourself, because that's what you want to do.
The most logical person to make the deal would be the person who can contribute the least to the rest of the world after the deal is made.
Who is that?
That. Nash. Can't just be determined by me.
I'm just asking your honest opinion.
What has to happen after the world, after this battle? Things need to be rebuilt. Order needs to be put back into place. People are moving back into their homes, if they want to move back to homes at all.
Pretty sure they do.
things are being put back together. Who can help with that? Who has the power, the fortitude, the mental stability?
Obviously, the answer to that question is Grog, the future button Lord of Israel.
Once again,
No.
if you were to say, who can lift that big rock? Physically, I can. Magically, you can. The professor can do the same. I've seen her throw rocks with magic.
She has literally crushed a bunch of turkey vultures.
Precisely. So, that being said, we would each contribute in our own way. But who would contribute more? Who would contribute the most effectively? Who could lead the best? It's not about loved ones that you have or don't have. It's not about what kind of unfinished business you have on this world. It would be more about, from a military stance, it would be more about whom could help the most after it's all said and done.
That's a good answer. I just really want your opinion on that.
I'm not going to name anyone.
I come from a more emotional standpoint with it.
As do I. But you asked for a military mind. One that I try to hide behind a bunch of...
How did you do the Dewell?
You pinch the strings with your fingers, and then you
You're
bend
using
it.
claws.
They're retracted at this moment. You bend it. You bend the string down as you're strumming, so it goes.
Can you make it talk?
Kind of. I can make it go.
Keep practicing that. That's going to be very useful. However,
True story. I can do that on a guitar. It's really fun.
but here's the other question I have for you. What can we do to help the professor? Because right now she might have the best bet we have. Because if we can throw a god back in time to say, don't fuck shit up with your wife, I think that might be the way we should gear ourselves to. I mean, if we actually go this way, and the only reason I don't have the professor down here is, did you see how tired she was? Her hair was embers more than it was flaming.
I did. I need to. I need you to understand the effects that time travel of that magnitude would have, not on the cycle that we are doing,
Well, that
but
could
the entire world.
That could undo all. It could break the chain, if I'm understanding this right.
Yes, it could break the chain. That is true. It could break the chain.
Technically, it would just.
It could also make you a woman. It could make me a cat. I could have died in war. It could be anything. Changing the smallest thing in the past to affect the future will affect everything in the future, and a ripple effect in a domino type series to we may have never met, to again.
Well,
Tal'gor wouldn't have been saved by the professor because the professor went back in time and never lost her memory, was in that spot in the first place.
To be fair with that, it could mean that Tal'gor never ended up in the battle that killed him in the first place.
True. It could be anything.
It's just there's other options that we could save.
I just need you to fully grasp that it is not A plus B equals C. But rather an A plus B could equal anything, but also
there's square roots and a hypotenuse in there. I understand this.
Yes.
I mean, there might even be a umlaut in math somehow with this.
It's in the front.
Accent they use in the back.
Accent grave, accent aigu.
I'm just... Honestly, I think that might be our best option.
First things first, she has to figure out that problem.
And that's where we need to help. Do we even need to bother going and getting the last shard? if we can help her make this spell.
The research she's doing now is not... It's not truly involved in most of the books in there, but rather in the knowledge that she already has, but she has to access.
And we have to also take her somewhere she might be able to find more help or more information.
I doubt the answer to that is the Feywild.
Oh no, I will go ahead and tell you this. There is one time we had a layover in the Feywild, and I am used to... Time out. That is a whole chapter of a different book. The layover in the Feywild. It's 8 hours of just pure random.
8 hours equals 8 years.
Welcome to the Tom Bombadil section of Tears of Kairos.
Hey!
100% Tom Bombadil section.
I would love
and
to
then
be Tom
and then it
Bombadil.
would like that. As soon as that chapter ends, no one ever fucking talks about it again.
You do
it's
realize
not in the
it's 'cause he's
movie.
fucking
It's
God,
nowhere.
right?
Tom
Yes.
Bombadil could
He's
have
straight up how do we say what is Eru Illuvatar? There it is.
Yeah, he's one of the high gaudy gods.
No, he's literally the god. Eru Illuvatar is
There's
Tom
gonna be
Bombadil.
a Tom Bombadil magic card.
Hey, by the way,
Nice.
hey Internet, I love that there is a black Aragorn card in the new Magic set from Lord of the Rings.
I'm so behind on the release.
Uh,
Oh my god.
Yes, dreads.
Yes.
Hot boy dreads.
Fucking hell.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I love how
Google that
I
shit,
love
it's
how
so
I
fun.
love how the internet exploded over it. I'm over here going,
Oh my god, he's hot. Shit, fuck. His king portraiture. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Damn, bitch! Get it!
They did such a good job with
my
all the
God.
artwork. Like,
Oh, no,
I want
it's-
to buy. I don't even buy magic cards anymore. I want to buy that
to be
set.
fair, I don't want to buy into the crack addiction again.
Yeah.
But
That set.
that set is pretty.
But that set.
Like I'm also not 100% sold on the pandering with all the new Magic sets of like hitting
Yeah.
like other IPs and stuff like the Warhammer one, but whatever. If somebody wants it, that's fine. The artwork in it's so pretty.
Also,
Like, it reminds me of the Hildebrand art. Like,
a quick randomness. Sorry, sidebar. There's gonna be there is the One Ring in this set,
oh, I know. I haven't even
but-
looked at it because I'm terrified of
but
what it's going to do.
there's a special artwork of the One Ring that is numbered 1 of 1, and they're only printing one. They're only putting out one,
Fuck you.
and it is that the art of that one is freaking gorgeous. I'm just sitting there, I was like,
Yeah, I mean, that...
the person who gets this card
They're going to
must burn it.
They're going to have to go underground so
Period.
quick.
No.
Like,
No, you are wrong. They're going to have to take a 7-year journey overland to Mount Doom.
It wasn't 7 years.
You throw it in a
The
freaking
same
volcano, or it doesn't work.
Can you imagine walking across the United States like to one of the volcanoes that is on the West Coast? That is 7 years because you're going to have to freaking like Last of Us sneak this through shit to get there. Like
I'm
you're
just
going to be
saying-
sitting there with Pedro Pascal sneaking down through an alley.
All I'm saying is that you're not a true
As long as it's not
Lord of
planned.
the Rings fan. You're not a true nerd if you try to keep that fucking card and like, I'm not your card, I'm a rich bastard. No, you burn it like you're fucking supposed to, and we all move on with our lives.
I was there, Gandalf.
We'll get Hugo Weaving to witness you burning it.
Hugo Weaving straight up would, like, he's such a fanboy, like...
Throw it into the fire!
No. And this is how we get Elrond stabbing an Elazar.
Okay, that was a fun little journey down our.
Sorry.
Down, we were there and back again.
Alright, so...
Scene.
Hot Boy Summer Strider.
My heart just...
I'm
my
surprised-
heart stopped.
I'm surprised my wife is not leaning in and saying, "Oh no, the one in the movies was also Hot Boy Summer
I mean,
Strider."
yes.
My wife has a thing for
Vigo.
Morrison. Anyway,
Scene.
Back to the scene of all of us. That was really weird. I feel like we fangirled for a moment.
A little bit.
I feel like I need to grow my dreads back out.
You're already the weird teacher.
Oof.
And I'm not saying Hewitt needs to grow dreads out. I'm saying Phil saying that.
Okay, so is there anything else that Phil and Arten need to discuss tonight?
Just Phil's going to ask that, and then unless Arten, you got anything?
No, I'm good.
Phil's going to go to whatever bedroom is not claimed.
Yeah.
And does not have like a chainmail mitt on the handle.
Yeah.
Phil will just scoop up little Sebastard, who I'm assuming is like every sleep drunk child is just 100% dead weight.
Probably.
And then is it just a bed, or is there like a chair in the room too?
There's chairs.
Phil will lay little Sebastard out on the chair, or not the chair, but on the bed, across the foot. And then he is going to sit in the chair, and before going into a trance, will try to allow his consciousness to drift a little bit.
Okay.
He knows that Kairos will not talk back. But Phil is going to... That stage where you just like let your vision go blurry.
Yeah.
Rhythmic breathing. And the only thing Phil is going to ask is, if you could undo it, just never have, would you?
So one thing that I'm going to have happening here is each of your rooms, as you like get settled into a bedroom, the furnishings, the paint on the walls, it all starts to shift and become something that is like if your character imagines your character's perfect bedroom, that's how the room changes to reflect. So for Zhonya, it's probably got some Strixhaven memorabilia that's not too terribly painful with recent developments. Just generic stuff on the walls, a couple pennants here and there from the stadium. For Arten, it's very Theros inclined, with
specific places to hang my new armor.
And very very gentle like linen drapes at the windows and
hold on. Do you got one of those rope beds that's mildly suspended?
Hammock bed.
I'm just asking because that's like everywhere on Pinterest right now.
We do have one of those in my home back on Theros. Also, normally we dress like they do in the movie 300. Just like very thin draped cloth, strategically placed, maybe a rope to create a waist. That's it. That's it.
For Phil, I don't know what's like Phil changes so often. What's Phil's like? What's his calmest bedroom vibe?
I think Phil's bedroom would look like the state. Oh, it's a crackle bar. Would be a very chaotic mix of what has been before and after Ushel. Like, there is definitely a pile of pillows in a corner that he is avoiding like the fucking plague.
Well, no, the room becomes what you want it to become.
What I'm saying is, there's still that one bit of Phil that wants that. The other bit of Phil doesn't want that.
Okay.
I think it would be, he walks in and there's a pile of pillows, and then that pile of pillows goes away, and the pile of pillows comes back, and the pile of pillows goes away, and the pile of pillows comes back.
The pile of pillows may or may not be, like, hazy. Like, half formed.
But Phil is avoiding that corner.
Okay.
Oddly enough, as much as Phil hates to admit it.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
If you're just tuning in, Fil'verl used to be a genie warlock. His patron's name was Ushel, and she was essentially honeypotting him, being girlfriend / goddess level of clingy vibe. And Phil was a little messed up there for a while, but he's left her behind, which is cool. And so his patron is now actually Kairos. But this is still relatively a new development.
Phil, it looks a lot like Phil's room on his parents' boat.
Okay.
But I'd say it is unintentionally slightly more gothic, and he is not like... So, like, it's not like it's all dark or anything. It's like the window has more of like a... one of those, like, pillow seats in front of it that's like built into. It has like a little bit of like somewhere between like bunk from a ship and like slightly Victorian-esque vibes is the only reason I'm like saying a little bit more gothic. Feels like
Dark Academia meet cruise ship.
pretty much.
Okay.
He's just like, okay.
All right.
Well,
so
except that's what the remote. We'll put little Sebastian in the window box cushion seat.
all right, and so then you can grab like the captain's chair and kind of toward the desk and for meditative purposes. As you're letting yourself drift, the room does shift a little bit more. That same sort of fog, not fog, begins to filter in around the edges. And it's not a response so much as an acknowledgement, and that acknowledgement is affirmative. If he could, he would do it differently.
Kill that fucker as soon as he was born.
No, that would just cause this problem to be different slightly and still happening.
But would be different.
Shit, and I still don't have a message to. God, I'm playing Phil where he has like no idea of social cues. So Arten is sitting there like the drums of war, but different
The
type
person
of
that
war.
has messages asleep.
And Phil all of a sudden, if he had a message,
You do have the sending stone
I do.
that
but
we
here's
never
the-
got back from you. Like, you got it. That's when you're a person.
I understand that, but at the same time, with this logic, Phil would probably not think of, let me pick up my magical cell phone and call Arten, because what would happen is Phil would immediately pull out and go, wait, Arten is doing something, and put it back down. If Phil had the ability to cast message, he would do it without thinking, and unfortunately it would be the penny. So,
Yay.
Phil is then going to trance for 4 hours and then spend the other 4 hours coffee locking.
Right.
And however many hours between breakfast and that, he is going to continue to use that as a short rest.
Okay.
So how many hours would you say that is, DM? So I can do fancy math.
This many.
So,
Nights are short in Velbrook.
so that's what I'm saying. They're getting a full 8 hours rest. So how much past the 8 hours would it be? 1. Okay, so I get to do this with. Okay.
That's why I said this many.
Okay.
If you trance 4 hours, then you have 4 hours left, and then this many.
Okay.
This many.
I was trying to make sure you weren't saying like an extra 5. I'm saying like,
No, a total 5.
Arten's like, I ain't getting up. This bed's comfy.
Speaking of which, Arten, when you do wake up in the morning, Erebos is not in bed with you. The door is slightly open into the hall.
Because this room is fashioned in the way that I would prefer, would it also come with like robes or some kind of like things like, okay, cool. Well, then I put on something like
Magical hotel
yeah.
closets.
I got on the equivalent.
Velbrook.
So equivalent of a Theros robe or whatever. It's covering the bottom half.
Right.
And it's just a more or less a fancy towel wrapped
Yeah.
around my waist.
Yeah.
And I'm just walking
Velbrook. I'm sorry, it's just you
on,
like
need to
on
make
the
this
booty,
now.
on the butt of it, it just says juicy.
that's because you imagined it, dude.
I imagined that it did.
Velbrook, that we will always have that the guild house open for
We'll
you.
always have Velcro.
Boys have Velbrook.
All right. So
So I'll go looking for him wearing that.
as you come downstairs, the front door actually opens and Erebos comes in. He's got like a wicker basket with what looks like pastries and like even like a ceramic thermos of coffee. Looks like he went to Ullrich's restaurant.
Oh, isn't that sweet?
I thought I wasn't sure how much stuff was still left in the kitchen.
It's
I got stuff.
it's more than appreciated. I was just worried.
Sorry. You were sleeping so good I didn't want to wake you. And it was just down the road. I mean, it's literally like a 5-minute walk. I can already smell the maple syrup.
Come on.
Just in a bed, sleeping in a pocket dimension. Maple syrup. Fuck this, I'm up.
Remember, Erebos don't sleep. Hanging out.
He's just chilling in a bed.
Yeah.
Arten eventually wakes up and it's just...
I'm used to it by now. The first few nights was like, the fuck, man, look somewhere else.
Staring at the stars.
But like, by now I'm like, just whatever.
Right.
Just stop braiding my back hair and we're fine.
That's the back mane. That's the best mane.
Alright, so...
Just because it's there doesn't mean you need to braid it.
There's tasties from Ullrich's restaurant / store for breakfast. And what is the game plan for today?
Eat breakfast while scantily clad.
Of course, as one do.
Zhonya is going to wake up and then that Zorina went undergo a change in the morning. She is now the shape of a bulldog now.
What flavor bulldog though?
English bulldog.
Okay, but old style English bulldog where they look more like a pit bull boxer, or modern English bulldog where they're God's worst idea of a booger.
Tech mascot.
No, that is called a pug.
No. Imagine that the part from Jack London's Call of the Wild, to where that the wolf was fighting the actual.
So old style English bulldog before they became God's worst idea of a booger.
So saying like back closer to the bull terrier before they fucked up the Spud McKenzie head.
Yeah. Alright, I'm good with that.
Man,
I
they
like
make
that.
you work that dog so bad.
She beef, I like her.
Well, I feel really mean saying that out loud. I should have said it on it. I said that they make you work the bull terrier.
Oh. And then
they did.
And then it's just gonna just come down, just basically, good morrow. Good morrow.
Want a donut?
Some coffee?
Sure. I will need that.
Is Zhonya actually in her full outfit, or is she in jammies?
She is up in jammies, but still has on the beret. Well, no, no, that the knitted hat.
Phil comes down the stairs, sees that, goes back up, and then comes back down in jammies.
Jammy party!
Are they Strixhaven jammies? They came with your room.
Are they? I don't know where's on.
Are they Quandrix jammies?
I don't think they'd be Quandrix jammies.
Shit,
I think she'd be too upset about Friendo.
Phil doesn't have jammies. Phil just
Phil's jammies have the emblem of his parents' ship on them.
No, that she is
wearing. It's the kind of jammies that like would be in the staterooms for the.
To be fair though, I stole a bunch of shit.
You would have stole those jammies.
She is
Strixhaven jammies.
Phil actually is just in the bathrobe from his parents' ship.
There's quills and books all over the jammies.
Yeah.
Yours have the fancy Ettin monogram.
Her royal displeasure.
Yeah. I forgot what the ship was called, but yes.
Her royal displeasure.
Alrighty then, gentlemen. What is the game plan?
I'm biting into a pastry and syrup is dripping all over the fur and stuff. I was just like...
Press the digitation.
Yeah. I knew you were going to do that as soon as it happens, which is why I described it.
He's getting so spoiled now.
What
happens when everyone else is gone? Like,
I hardly even have to take a shower.
Groom, like,
it's amazing. I haven't had a hairball in months. Licking my fingers is fun. Stop that.
You're going to take the nail polish off.
Whatever.
Well, that's what Erebos said you could do.
The plan today, I suppose, if we feel up to it, we can finally talk to Tars.
I mean, that is on the table, and then also that we can try, because that known fellow, I don't know that if he was a resident of Velbrook or not. He had worked with a lot of clocks and stuff that maybe that we can use, say, something of his craftsmanship as a sort of conduit for whatever that this big, time reversal spell could be.
I support talking to the arcane focus maker.
Yes.
Because I kind of allowed my consciousness to drift last night. Don't look at me that way.
This is how I look.
You were looking at me like you were judging me.
This is how my face is.
You were, though, weren't you?
Pour tops off the coffee cup.
Oh yes, and then that Zorina is no
It's
longer
anti-judge
carryable
coffee.
anymore. That y'all just see just at the familiar face of her, but it is bulldog form now.
Oh my god.
Spit take. Just gonna.
Phil's, I'm about to do something, so let me make my statement before I do it. Let my consciousness drift. Kairos seems like he supports the idea of marriage counseling by sending him back before he fucked up. Oh my god, look at you, you are so adorable. It just gets down there and starts playing with the jowls. That is also Hewitt, because anytime I've seen a bulldog, it's like, I don't know you, but I want to, like, just love you.
Newfies and Shar-Peis and Neo-Mastiffs. Yeah.
Okay, any dog above 25 pounds I'm that way with, because puppy.
My brother had a Neo-Mastiff. It was
Oh yes, then we can go in and see that artificer of some sort, and then we can go make a deal with Dazin.
What deal do we need to make with her, though? Because I talked to him after you went to bed last night, Professor, and neither one of us really could say what the best move was. Is that the best way to put it, Arten?
Yeah.
I feel the spell we found that you might be able to cast is our best option, because, and if we do this spell, if we turn it back and stop it, the question is, do we need all the shards if we're going to undo the heart breaking? Because, like, I don't understand time paradoxes. Like, we gathered the hearts and used the heart shards to cast the spell, and then we made sure his heart didn't break, so then we didn't have the shards in the first place. I don't know how that
The
big time
being
loop
that
would
we
work.
send back must be corporeal.
So we still have to let him out and then send whoever.
Can send a fart back in time.
Did you just say send a fart back in time?
What else would you call him right now?
My patron?
I mean
My boss?
as that I basically have always told my students that we will need a control, and for me, that the gathering all the shards will be our control, because that this is our experimentation. That this is, of course, that us just utilizing that the arcane investigation of basically us finding out new spells and seeing if it works or fail.
Yes.
Our control is the shards.
It's not wrong to keep that as a backup. I mean, multiple ways to do this is good. It's just that it's what you want to do, Professor. I was for trying to
I say
slingshot it
both.
back
So this
in
is what
time.
we gotta do. And I stand up real quick. I stand up and I start, like, naming things up. You two roll a perception. Just flat. What's your perception?
22.
19.
22.
Okay, you both get a glance at my penis. Both of them. Anything above 18 was gonna get it. You both got it.
The towel just. Well, here's my thing.
I move too quickly. I'm not used to wearing so little anymore.
It flares open. I thought you were saying like it just falls off.
No, it's a quick flare open, and I'll go back to, like, so what we have to do, we have to gather up all the shards, get a new arcane focus, and then, at that, once we have those things, put the god in a body and send that body back in time. In between here and now, the professor has to figure out what and how to do that. So, a few steps need to be taken before we start deciding whom is in there. But also, I need to point out one thing.
I'm not raising my hand. I'm just making sure when the towel flares open with your body movements again, I don't see anything. That's his.
Sorry. The idea of you being the vessel is becoming less and less of a good idea to me. And only because once once he and the vessel become one, you need to cast a spell. And if your mind is being corrupted, you might not be able to.
That is a very astute observation.
But again, that is a bridge we can cross later. First steps first.
So...
We need more clocks.
So, but here is one thing that I have already maxed out the potential of that. Phil had basically saw it, that Daz basically maxed out the magic potential of my pocket watch, because it's all, mechanically, it is already a +3. So will we have to go beyond that, the maximum potential of magic already?
Your DM would like to remind you that you have not yet fully deciphered everything in the current work in progress spell. You might not want to put too many things about the spell in stone before you finish actually researching that. Which again, that's a next week DM thing, not a tonight DM thing.
Here's an
idea.
We
actually just say before this argument continues, Grog actually chimes up and is the ghost of the machine for us.
Yeah.
And Grog's like, shouldn't we know how to do the spell before you get like a what? Then all of a sudden, we all look at Grog. I have oatmeal.
Grog? Oh, that's very true, Grog.
Like Grog has that moment of like transcendent clarity.
I wanted to throw out this idea. If you like this idea, cool. If you don't, that's fine. It's a dumb idea. What if we fashioned a polyhedron with 20 different clocks all on? Would that be 20 times one clock?
I feel that,
or would it just be
biomechanically, wouldn't that be a +60?
Like that.
Actually, I feel like that would be we have to roll it another time the top clock is on
of my research.
So
then that the whole hourglass symbolism around me was basically, I had this thing about I can basically control myself in stasis for just a short while, but what if that I can basically extend that to make the world be in stasis, but me go back?
The problem is if you have someone else free writing in your head, personal experience, they might override what is logic. Like, say, make you ride around for 8 hours in a carriage in Waterdeep, and then make you pretend to be someone else. And this individual we're talking about, from personal experiences, is way more powerful than her.
So what are we going to do about getting the shard fixed as well? Because in it I have research.
I don't even know if we should show her the shard. She knows we have them. It's just that it seems like you open that up and it's immediately like you handed a bottle of ale to an alcoholic.
So we take the shard out here.
She'll sense it coming. Well,
she'll sense one.
I do think that Mia said that she's not as temperamental and volatile as the others, though, because she's got her own ward, which is the shard.
Yes.
So I'm just saying we don't take the shard. We don't open the box in front of her. We just bring one shard to her.
Or even just ask her without actually taking the thing out of the box first.
That's
just
a
be
good
up
idea.
front with her and just ask her. We heard that you fixed one before. Could you do it again? What do we need to do?
The professor and I could go in because your last interaction with her was a little bit terse. Also, if something goes south, you have all of them, and you're not in there.
Fun. We'll sit in the square.
I mean,
by the way, this maple bacon one's really good.
I've had 3 already.
Maple bacon is very good. I had to kind of burn it up a little bit because I like it a little bit crisp.
That causes cancer.
It's not Kairos cancer.
I mean,
you got donut cancer, not Kairos cancer. Oh god, donut cancer is just diabetes.
I got the sugar.
Oh god, is this allowed? Can a paladin lay on hands cure cancer?
Oh.
That is. Well, hold on. It's disease.
It's a disease.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Is it technically? Well, that means, are we dealing with viruses, bacteria, or uncontrolled cell growth? Because, I mean, technically also that means lesser restoration can restore a broken back versus...
I feel like condition would be more appropriate for a category of cancer because it's a dysfunction of cellular growth mechanics.
I mean,
so
it's kind of like lesser restoration being able to restore a broken back when someone gets paralyzed, but you got to have greater restoration to repair like a lost arm.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that we can
but
that later.
I'm writing that down because that's a really interesting mechanic.
No, it's one of those because I had a player argue it cures paralysis. And I was like, it does, which means it cures a broken back. And I went, you are technically paralyzed if you have a broken back because they got run over by a hell rig.
Yes.
So I was like,
it's not a good place to play. No play in the streets where the hell rigs were.
Yeah.
Okay, the whole reason that happened is because one of the other players decided to mess up another player's way of doing things and turned the vehicle broadside and got hit like from the side, knocking players out of the vehicle, and then they got rolled over.
Smart.
Let's not get distracted again.
No, I'm just sorry. Situational damage.
Smart.
But yes, that we can go to. We can basically ask Das if that she will be willing to repair a shard, and then I will get back to more research on just this spell book because that the handwriting on this is sloppy, but I can make good.
What do you, Professor? Would you prefer to look into that, and I'll go talk to Daz?
That'll be fine.
Okay.
All right. So we go to the Daz.
All right.
And by we go to the Daz, I mean everyone but the professor, I guess.
Well, we'll leave Grog.
I have more research to do on button techniques.
Okay.
Please tell me Grog has not gone through every closet and found every button.
He has found boots of just.
I can't tell you that, I'd be lying.
Oh god, these other adventures. Like, come on, why can I not button up my pants?
He has finally figured out button caltrops. Instead of basically doing damage, and then people just slip on them.
Grog's room was Scrooge McDuck's
button hoard.
It was Scrooge McDuck's money hoard, but it was all buttons. And he jumped on a diving board into the buttons. And
Rock tails. Woo!
Oh god.
Okay, anyway, so we go to talk to Daz. Not you, but we. And when we go to talk to Daz, you go in. I stay outside, playing the guitar, and giving you inspirations. Because I can do that shit. You get D6 if there's any rolls. Fuckers.
Okay, so you head into... Phil heads into Daz's shop. She's sitting behind the counter, same as yesterday. There's a plate of what looks like brownies beside her on the counter, as well as the easily recognizable ceramic thermos from Ulrich's that apparently has some sort of herbal tea in it. She's sipping tea out of a lovely blue china teacup.
Watching a dragon sip is going to be an interesting act in and of itself.
They got lips. You've seen Shrek.
Yeah, if we're using Shrek logic.
We are.
So she's
That's what she did. That's what she did.
She's got a book open on the counter in front of her, and she's got her teacup. So the door opens, the little bell chimes overhead. You come inside, the door closes behind you, and she's still reading her book. She doesn't appear to acknowledge your presence.
Good morning.
Is it?
It is morning. Looks out a window. Apparently, yes.
But is it good?
Do you intend to wish me a good
Yeah,
morning? Were you saying it's a good morning whether you...
It is if we wish it to be. Or make it.
I suppose.
Try to have a positive outlook. At least for the last 2 days. By the way, I can bend my neck now.
That's good.
So, I have an inquiry of you.
Only one?
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe some subset questions will be connected to it.
There it is.
You understand how it goes.
Yeah. Generally.
So, you
One thing leads to another, and back around again.
You took the deal, didn't you?
There wasn't really much of a choice.
Yeah, we're kind of getting that feeling at the moment as well. How much of you is you?
All of me. I think. Well, I mean, except for the leg, but that was a gift from a friend a long time ago. You know, replaces the one
Phil's
I
just
never
going to
had.
be pointing
Up here?
directly at the head, yes.
It's all me. There's no extra voices in there. Not since I got rid of them. But those were never him. Well, not after he pulled out.
Oh, he pulled out.
Yeah. I mean, when you put a divine gate up, I mean...
God damn it, Jed, you started smirking, and now I can't.
Fuck, pull out game strong, son. Pull out game strong.
Well, why do you think there's only one set of kids that were born with Kairos and... Fucking hell, Jed.
I didn't do shit until you already acknowledged that I was thinking
I
about
looked
stuff.
over, I looked at you, and you're smirking. And
Don't fucking look at me.
I smirked first, to be honest, but
I'm trying to look at the DM, and all of a sudden I just see this smile. And
It's why she sends me out of the room. This is the
beard
reason.
starts tilting.
This is the reason she sends me out of the room. I'm not in the room.
well,
Well,
it's
game
connected
strong.
to that. If the main question I have, the other ones are connected to it just for safety purposes. We have in our possession a extra broken heart piece.
Oh, that's no fun.
No, it's not. Big, fat god evil had it. We pumped him full of radiant energy. It went south. He exploded. It took damage.
So, I don't hear a question there.
Oh no, that's the next explanation. How much does it cost to fix it?
I don't deal in coin.
I didn't ask monetarily.
It's not a matter of much, it's a matter of what?
It's still a cost. What would you require to be given for such?
You're the one who broke it,
Unintentionally.
but you are the one responsible.
I would say yes.
Are you paying the price yourself? Alone? That does
Depends.
make a difference.
It depends on the price.
Alone, it'll be heavy.
That's not clarifying.
Do you have something you cannot afford to lose?
Another part of myself, yes.
You're already intending to give that up.
I can't give it up. Not now.
In the end, you've already made up your mind.
Here's the situation with that. A lot of people in this world, any world, the multiple worlds, think that just because you've changed today what you once were is not still integrally a part of you. It is. Right now it's sealed away. No matter what you do, it is an integral part of your person. You've learned from it, you won't make those mistakes again. Currently sitting in the back of my head is every major life decision I made for 55 years. It is what made me to this point I am now. There are many things that I decided within that if they were gone and taken from me, I know myself would make those mistakes again, possibly to the endangerment of myself and others. It's giving up the life experiences made through all those mistakes that taught me and learned me something. More than just, oh yes, I dislike this part of me, I wish it would go away, I was so cringy back then. It's losing all of that to where I could make the same mistakes again. Losing longer than most creatures live is what I would give up. The knowledge gained within there, I would give up. Taking back something I never would want to have again right now would be something in there Like, I would never touch that bottle again in my life right now. If those 55 years were gone, I probably would. It's tempting. Shit, she was sexy. She brought me in. She taught me honeyed whispers and all that, yes. Now, I would not fall for it. Without all that, I would. Also within that 55 years is memories of some of my friends. Loved ones. A husband. And a wife. Oh God, I committed bigamy.
She sets her teacup to the side, turns a page in her book, and pulls a card from between the pages. You're seeking a single happy ending, and you're looking to only make one choice for it. That's not how it works. You're trying to leap, without knowing what lies below. A leap is a single choice, and it often leads to consequences you can't hope to recover from.
That's everyday life.
It's not a matter of a single choice. It's a matter of every choice ever. What you're asking is for me to give up a part of myself to fix what you have broken. And your whole... She tempted me. It was one wrong move to touch the lamp and open that doorway. The only thing you're guilty of is being naive. Don't blame yourself for being young and stupid. It is not the same thing as what he once did. What he once did was premeditated and in rage. You did not make the same mistake. You're equating yourself to something entirely in a different category. Weight class difference.
That's also very judgmental about each person's or entity's mistakes.
I was in his head as much as he was in mine. I think I speak from experience myself.
Then name your price.
You have nothing I want. Nothing worth giving up my own flesh and blood.
Phil will walk out the second she says that.
As you're walking out the door, she says, "All of you together might."
There's one, like, Phil's gonna turn around. You didn't have to take that tone. There's like one other person here. I was about to talk to him because apparently my wallet's not heavy enough. So, like, I literally was gonna talk to he's outside the window.
I'm within 60 feet of y'all this whole time, just playing.
So Phil's like, that's all I was doing. Phil's gonna, the second the door closes, hey. So her price is way heavier than apparently I can pay. This is gonna be
I'll go sell my new glaive.
No, it's not money. This is gonna be like a life experience. You're gonna motion to step further away. Apparently she's claiming to a degree that Kairos' drama is more important and more dramatic than ours, which, to be fair, is deity drama, which means that's like full-on drama.
Please spare me with the whole deities are more important than humans.
Oh no, I'm 100% saying it's bullshit.
Lived by deities and underneath them for way too long. That kind of bullshit, but fine.
No, it's bullshit. I'm agreeing with you that it's 100% hogwash. However, we have to make a deal with an individual that definitely thinks their problems were way worse than anything we've experienced.
Fine. Dolls.
No, we're outside. We got.
I thought the door was still open. Sorry.
There's gonna be. Do you think Phil just talked this much shit with the door open?
You motioned me this way. I thought we were.
No, Phil's like stepped out to talk. We're gonna have to get the professor because this is not. We're gonna step in and she's gonna say the exact same thing. I literally.
I agree. We'll go back and get everybody. One moment. Open the door. Dolls, how long are you going to be here today?
I never leave.
Not even to eat or shit.
I've got a kitchen out the back.
She has prestidigitation.
It's gross. Fine. We'll be right back. It's just gross to prestidigitate the shit in your pants every time you shit. And I'm just like, this is a conversation we have as walking back.
As we're walking, I don't shit my pants. I go behind a tree and do it, and then prestidigitate it away so no one steps in it. And I also will do that to give myself an additional clean. It's a magical bidet.
When you insinuate that someone else has prestidigitation and therefore doesn't leave to shit, you also insinuate that they shit their pants and then prestidigitate it away.
There is a pot behind that desk. Worst case scenario during
that
the
is
shower.
Also gross. You shit right in the middle of the room.
She might find a corner. I've dealt with ferret people. They back up.
She's not a ferret. She's a dragon.
I could have used my reaction to give myself a ring.
Ferret people. She's a dragon people.
So while y'all are walking back...
Ferrets don't even look like dragons.
While y'all are walking back, Professor, you finished up breakfast after the two of them headed out. Do you want to go ahead and head upstairs to do research, or what?
She would possibly head upstairs, get ready to do her research, probably dress up in like... Basically just like her normal stuff, but just more like a relaxed version of it, in a sense.
Go ahead and roll investigation as you sit down with the super special secret spell.
That is going to be a 27.
Okay. You're making some good headway. The major components that you're finding are like ritual circle type of stuff. There are specific sigils that are custom constructed for this spell to channel those temporal energies. There's descriptions of specific like crystals and incense to use to help kind of make sure that everything goes well, to create the proper clean space to make this happen without interference. And shortly, like a couple of minutes before you hear the front door open, you find another set of kind of margin notes that are basically musing about how it may not be possible to complete the temporal warp, the shift, without the shards as conduit. Kind of is it possible to do this without the shards, or is doing the spell a one-way street? Does that make sense?
That completely makes sense.
Okay. You hear the front door open as you're mulling these notes over. Do y'all head directly up to the library?
I feel like Arten gets the last word in on the potty argument. Like, do you just yell, "It's fucking disgusting"?
Yeah. It's just, I don't care. It's fucking gross.
Professor Embersong, that this is the puzzle you have to figure out. Jesus.
Professor, you figure out that puzzle?
Yes, and it is not a good solution.
Well, we also have another bad solution at the moment to discuss as well.
It can't be worse than what I'm about to say.
Oh no, I think it's related.
So we go up there.
Is everything is everything that's freaking you out involving the things that we have been dealing with the entire times?
Well, no. I have made some good headway on the spell. That it appears that I'm going to have to be doing some reading about ritual casting, because I am not a ritual caster yet.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we're going to need some crystals, incense. It doesn't say anything about cinnamon. cinnamon spells. But I
Called
did,
out.
but that I did find a margin here that says that may not be possible without the shards as a conduit. So that basically means,
Yep. Our problem's related.
yep. Wait a minute. But what I came to that the conclusion is that it is either we do the temporal shift using the shards, or else that we use the shards to create a vessel. It is either one or the other.
And if you do one and it fails, you don't have the
Right.
opportunity to do the second.
And then if that basically fails, then that we are going to be just
So therein lies a whole new problem.
bad luck.
Instead of the idea of sacrificing one to save so many, we have
Like I said, that the
a roll
control.
of the dice,
Right.
a hope and a prayer that the spell that you found in the book and you are fixing works.
It's going to have to take some time for me to basically be able to do this spell without using the shards as a conduit, but I do believe it'll be possible.
So you're saying you could figure out how to cast a spell without them?
If I was able to bring back Tal'gor from the dead with just the cost of my memory, I should be able to.
Yeah.
Alright, so that just means that for either plan A, which is vessel, or plan B, it's undo, we gotta have the shards fixed. So we talked to Dies.
Yep.
I offered her something in exchange to fix the shard. Obviously it was not enough. It's one of those things that all three of us are going to have to give something up for, because God drama is higher than our drama according to her. And she had a god. Oh, by the way, she said Kairos left after a while.
You didn't tell me that.
Well, we got into an argument about his prestidigitation gross.
You're talking about shit. You're talking about shitting your pants and then making it disappear.
I did not mention
like it was
shitting your
fucking
pants.
cool,
I just said
and it was okay.
Gentlemen, focus.
Never said shit your pants.
You implied.
Well, then
Imagine.
let me just basically just put on some normal shoes instead of these nice comfy slippers, and then I will be down there.
Fuck that. Wear the slippers. This is the
I'll
Walmart.
cast fly on you. You can stay in the slippers.
You just called her shop Walmart. Oh my god.
We all show up in pajamas and slippers.
No, screw this. Phil's just gonna go find the biggest pair of pants and pull them all the way up to here. Everybody's seen that one picture at the Walmart checkout, right? The lady that had the stretchy pants all the way up to here. I'm like, well, that's one way to go.
My hair's still in one of those little silk sleep hats. So it doesn't
Come on,
frizz out now.
we did not walk into her store to begin with like
All right,
that.
then let's just.
By the
keep
way,
going.
again, the way she put it is to fix this, she is going to be giving up part of herself. Part of her flesh, part of her soul, because she is touched by Kairos. More or less, I'm assuming she's going to pour some of that dark Kairos energy in.
She's gonna lose another leg?
I hope not. If that's the case, we definitely have to
Can't
make her a new
I
one.
can't fix legs. That's not me.
I'm pretty sure if the professor and I were given about 25 minutes, we could put something together. I didn't say it would be elegant. I mean, there could be a spring and a steel.
It
Some
may.
paper clips and rubber
It
bands.
just sounds.
I'm
I'm just
assuming.
gonna go next door and get
Just go to the blacksmith. All right, I need a curved piece of steel, a rod.
While they're
Spring.
trying to MacGyver a leg, I'll go next door. I was like, all right, see.
How much is it going to cost to fix
How
your
much
I
is it
need
gonna
you to
cost?
take that armor I gave you, the left leg. Give me the left leg and make it,
more like
If I
prosthetic.
give you 50 gold right now, can you fashion something out of scrap metal that approximates like a shock absorption?
Nix that. Y'all keep going, I'm gonna pay you. Here's what's gonna happen. Either you do this, or your next door neighbor is gonna be hopping around pissed off all the fucking time. One of the two. Like, cause we're not gonna actually fix the problem. We're gonna try. It's gonna fall off. It's gonna be a piece of shit. And then you have the ability, you could do it,
Alright,
or...
Let's narrow back in off of this fictional artisan question. It's like, so, that is, she said it was too much. I offered her longer than at least longer than Arten's been alive out of me.
Not much.
I literally offered her every life experience I had for 55 years, which means I wouldn't have known you.
Again, by comparison, I haven't been alive very long.
But I can understand that is not enough to compare to a god by a god standard, but I feel a little gaslit by god deities being full of bullshit.
Full of bullshit. Just evaporate away.
She is going
Zeus
to...
finger guns into the distance and disappears. Somebody's like, why is the whole town pregnant?
Zhonya is going to like look just kind of like longing at Zorina, knowing of the fact that she was the first recognition of memory that had came to her ever since the beginning. Like, it is possibly going to be Zorina for me, possibly.
It could be anything from any of us.
Yes.
She didn't name her price other than that I could not pay it alone. Which I would have appreciated instead of like a 5-minute discussion. Like, she just told me, like, you ain't got the pockets, boy. I think I would have understood that better.
You don't have the votes.
I mean that. Let's just go
you
see what that she's basically asking, because then I need to get back to research.
Let's do this.
Let's all go. Come on, Boosie.
Yes.
We got to go to a place.
Alright, so y'all head back to Dawes'.
Erebos does not get to sacrifice anything. That is our golden boy.
He's technically been with y'all from the start, so...
It's part of the crew.
Yeah. Yeah, so y'all make it back to Dawes' and open the door, go inside. She's sitting in the same spot, except that the tea, the ceramic thermos, the book, all gone off the countertop. And there's just a simple black tasseled cloth laid over the countertop. Her cards are also nowhere in sight.
She knew we'd be back.
I told her we'd be back.
Which means she knew.
Good morrow.
To be determined.
Oh no. Regardless of what we're about to have to give up, it's still supposedly going to be a good day because this puts us closer to our goal, right?
Sure.
Yes.
You're asking for me to fix what you have broken.
Yes.
I am willing to do so. But penance must be had.
What is the penance that you would like to have?
The choice is yours. Individual or as one.
Clarification and difference.
Individual, specifically for each of you, according to what you have to offer. Cumulative, as a group. Or one price across all of you. 4 smaller prices or 1 large price.
What is the price? This is still cryptic.
As it is meant to be, you can never know what the next step will hold.
I hate this.
Mm-hmm.
We all do, but
Whatever the price, it will not be that which you cannot overcome.
A good group. We've always attacked everything as a group, as a family.
yes, we have.
We've stood up against gods, against blink cats, against everything.
Yes.
As a group. To go in individual over this one thing doesn't make sense for us.
Right, because we have already given up so much of ourselves individually. Why not do it as a group?
I can get behind that.
You know, that you guys are my family, because whenever then I was alone facing off up against bitch ass Pavin, it was basically I was thinking about you guys.
We choose as a group, as one unit.
Place your hands on my countertop. She pulls out a...
Sorry.
Like how everybody sticks out a left hand and I just stick out my right hand. I was like, well, assuming dominant hand.
No, I just immediately went to little Sebastian putting his hand on them. Without going, put that back.
Just this one grubby tip, like, with a knife still in it.
And I'm just over here like, no, not you, not you, not you.
She pulls from beneath the counter a black stone flask and a gleaming silver knife. She gouges the point of the knife into her hand and then holds it over the mouth of the flask. And as she bleeds into the flask, the air under each of your hands where it's touching the fabric becomes freezing cold, and you feel your hands being anchored to the countertop. She says, I give of myself that you may repair what has been broken. In the future, your fates are mine. I need each of you to roll a d6. Erebos will roll as well.
Oh, that's fun.
Erebos rolled a 2. What did you get? A 1?
No, 2.
A 2 as well? Okay, sorry, the lamp was in the way.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All 6, okay. And Phil.
Oh, 1.
A 1. Alright.
And this is how much damage you take.
Alright.
For the rest
So,
of
a 2, a 2, a 6, and a 1, that total is 11. Mechanically, I'm being upfront here. I have 11 times that I can just say no to something that you roll or something that you do. Doesn't matter what you roll, doesn't matter what you did, it will count as a failure and it will count in favor of my enemy or NPC or whatever you're trying to do. It ain't gonna work.
Okay.
There are 11 times across the whole ass group that I can just say, no, fuck that. Daz is essentially undoing, rewriting fate. She is giving of her own Kairos touched entropy to undo and repair.
Point of clarification.
Yo.
So, bad guy rolls good.
Mm-hmm.
Time Wizard says, and you can say, no.
Correct.
So that you can basically
I
make
can
me
say that
waste my reaction.
I can say a counter spell fizzles.
Yeah.
I can say that your crit didn't go through.
Uncrit.
I can just say, okay, none of that damage went
Just
through.
no across the board. Secondary point of clarification.
Yo.
You say no. Time Wizard reacts. Can he?
No.
Ooh.
Wanted to put that out there immediately
Okay.
before it happened in the future.
If I use a Daz no,
Yeah.
there is no reaction possible. You
need
can
to have a Daz no counter on the screen.
Okay.
with a point of clarification.
Yeah.
You could try to counter the Daz no, but the consequences would be drastic and bad.
The Daz no counter goes up.
Yeah,
Dumbass.
so that it'll basically, hypothetically speaking, say for example that I basically, you are throwing Pavin at us again, then that he crits. I use that reaction to say no, but then that that you basically does know that and that I still do that. You have basically just up in your right to do a ×4 crit or whatever as punishment. That's the way that I'm reading that.
If you try to negate a Daz no, the consequences will be maybe not immediate, but the consequences will be dramatic and awful.
Right. That's just
But there are
clarification.
only 11 Daz no's, and I will not tell you when or where I'm going to use them. I may save them all up until the final battle.
These are all slaps from How I Met Your Mother. And it's just gonna happen when they happen, and we will live in fear for the rest of our lives. Amen.
No reason to live in fear.
Can you know a stationary effect?
Define.
My new armor says no critics. Can you know and say no? This time crit does happen.
No, because that's already happened.
Okay.
You already have adamant armor. I can't know that.
That's the kind of stuff like I just want to know where the limits are.
Yeah, and then another point of clarification. Say for example, gravity sinkhole goes off and then somebody fails it, and then if they get pulled up into that center of that thing as the spell, could you know a spell effect?
I can know one of my NPC fail saves. I could count it as like a legendary resistance.
Okay.
Or an amazing acrobatics check to just do a couple backflips and lands, hero style, whatever.
Does Phil have any points of clarification for this?
No.
Okay.
By the way, legit.
All right, so 11 does know.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that I rolled high, which is weird.
So,
freaking golf rules in that roll. I was all excited. I got a fucking 6.
Okay, so she puts a thumb into her gouge mark, reaches for a corks it.
The gouge mark?
Her flask. Slides the flask over to you guys. You feel the magnetism affecting your hands dissipates. Y'all are able to pull your hands away. There's nothing marking you or anything like that to say that this has happened. She passes you the flask and says, all you gotta do is submerge the shard in that. You could even put it in a glass bowl. It'll absorb and be done. And then you'll be good to go.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
Just a thank you.
Don't thank me until your price is paid.
There is no thanking to be given. This is just a price to be paid. It's a transaction, it's business.
Right, and in that always up in business that you have to think regardless.
Whatever. And I just leave. It's like, so y'all are arguing whether or not we should say thank you. Like,
No,
Phil's
not arguing. Phil's just literally saying there's no need to say thank you. This was a business transaction. And the only thing Phil will say is when we get out, fuck all the Kairos touched.
Let's go back to the house.
I'm going back
Fix
to
the
studying,
rock.
and in that, y'all have that to fix the rock.
Give it to him. I'm not supposed to touch him.
We all go back to the building. She can start studying again. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna pull out a bowl that I assume I can submerge the stone in and do that.
Yep.
And it's like pull out the stone. Wait, pull out the box. Fell. Broken one. Bowl. Shut.
Phil's going to use prestidigitation to make a slight flash effect. Kitty's first magic.
So
it's not magic, it's just...
No, this is magic. Make no mistake, this is magic.
You uncork the flask and start pouring it into the bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Her blood going in looked normal. As it's pouring out, it's got swirls of black all through it. And
it's fucking gross.
It goes into the bowl, covers the shard, and then immediately starts to dissipate. The liquid level goes down, the shard begins to rise like an iceberg out of the puddle until there's no droplets left and the shard is whole again. No more crack.
Writing that down because I need to have that excellent shard fixed.
Phil, come on. We go outside. I pour all of everything onto the ground. Phil, prestidigitate the blood away. I don't want to touch it. And then I take the rock, I pick up the stone, open the box. In the box, shut the box, put it in the bag. Pile of gross blood. Oh no, it's gone. And then the bowl. Fuck that. We're gonna burn both the bowl and the flask.
But it's clean now and it's dry. It'll burn better. Also, that's not our bowl.
Burn the flask.
You can burn the flask.
I fucking
don't.
paid for this flask with my fate. I will burn it if I want to.
Saying you can.
That's a
I'm
quote.
not. I am not. One, it's metal. Two, that's smelting, not burning. Three, it came from a Kairos touch. It could be made out of, I don't know, the back end of a star's cosmic collapse. It just held the ability to fix a god's heart. That is not a natural bottle. Hold on, is it glass?
Stone.
It's like Blackstone.
Okay, definitely not going to be able to burn it.
It's still going in a fire, okay? I don't care what
If
the
that's
fuck you
fine.
say.
The
It
next
goes in a
person that
fire.
comes through and stays at the mansion can find it in the burned out fireplace.
Alright, so you go inside, build a fire in the kitchen fireplace, trying to get rid of the
Phil is
bad
staying on
juju.
the opposite end of the house in case there is like an explosion.
Understandable. There's no explosion, but as the fire begins to die down, the flask itself, it's not quite melting, but it's getting less solid.
Build another fire. This fire is gonna go on as long as she's studying. We're gonna keep rebuilding this fire and playing on a little harpsichord thing because I've got no other things to do at the moment than teach myself how to play guitar and burn a flask until we deem ourselves ready to move on.
Alright, so, long story short, the flask eventually isn't there the next time you go look. You don't find any ashes of it or any pile of slag. 1 second it's just there and then it's gone.
Dawes is just looking at her desk that now has a burn ring underneath where the flask rematerialized.
So you went back upstairs
Goddamn
for
right I
more-
burned that
more
flask.
studying. Go ahead and give me one more investigation check for the afternoon.
Can Phil be up there giving her assistance so she has advantage?
I have no problems with this.
The moment I check the
25.
fire and the flask isn't there, I start gloating to Phil like from across the room. See? Flask gone. Took 7 fires, gone.
Got a 25.
Alright, so you make some more progress on getting through the work in progress spell. It's there are more and more notes. The pages toward the middle of the book start to look like the crazy inmates wall of theories. There's overlapping, like, no, that won't work, and yes, it will, but you gotta do this crazy mess first. There's just a whole bunch of overlapping notes and stuff. It gets a little boggy to get through, but you're basically becoming more and more sure that the reason the person who was developing this spell gave it up is because they still interpret it as all or nothing, either the spell or releasing Kairos for a vessel. That they couldn't find a way to make the spell work without the shards as conduit. It was one plan or the other. There was not a potential for both with the same shards.
Professor,
Yes.
what'd you find out?
It's basically that this person just sort of just called it quits, and then that they basically said that it was basically either with the shards or else with the vessel. And then that they just have just thousands of theories, and it is essentially just like them just looping back to basically must use the shards, but I know that there is a way. That they just didn't go deeper into the theory.
Is it because that's an anchor point to him, or is it?
I think that from my revelation is that it's basically that the shards themselves are powerful, and then that he himself wasn't as strong enough, and then he felt he needed that kind of conduit.
As Phil's asking this question, one of the notes on the page that you're still open to catches your eye. It just says heart and mind are one.
Heart and mind are one.
Well, he is very single-minded in what he wants. So
Yes.
it makes sense that what his heart and mind feels are the same. So, I mean, maybe that's the conduit.
I mean that.
Ooh, bad idea.
I mean
Super
that.
bad idea.
It basically sounds like that they have their emotional and logical state of being synchronized with each other.
Would you like to share with the class?
Professor, I have a really bad idea.
Go on.
I'm gonna walk in around this time.
Just
I told you
to
that
say.
thing would
I
be
have a
burned.
bad idea.
What's that?
If his heart and mind are linked, and that's what they're saying with the research, that's what you said, because, I mean, we're trying to connect to him in the past using what's left of him in the present, right?
Yes.
So that's like opening up a doorway.
Mm-hmm.
This is the bad idea. There's Kairos touch blood, fix the shard of the heart.
Mm-hmm.
Can we kill Pavin and open up a door back in time?
Her eyes just kind of like light up and just like.
Arten, you should have said no.
I-
She's doing the look. She's doing the look, Arten.
What?
That-
How?
You know that.
You're saying you want to kill a Kairos touched, and then use the dead Kairos touch to open the door back in time instead of the shards.
Hypothetically, all I'm thinking is like if we say that these shards of
Why
his
are
heart,
we killing a hardwood? Just go find an easy Kairos touch thing.
Well, I
he
said-
turned into a
I
fucking
said-
dragon. Some of
I
them are
said
nice.
Pavin because he's the last. We can't. I'm not going back to do that to Dad's because she will kick our ass.
Oh no, not her. No.
She did this thing. She did this thing, and I don't know what that is yet. I got a feeling it's gonna fuck us over at some point really hard.
We walk in to fight Daz, and it's like the first 11 things we try are just no's, and we
That's
die.
how we get rid of this. This is how we get rid of this.
Die so quickly.
But
But I'm not saying we go after Daz. I'm not saying we go after any of the Kais. I'm just saying, theoretically, if what we are looking for is a Kairos power source that can link back to a previous state of Kairos,
Yes.
so that we don't necessarily have to make the decision of all or nothing on the shards, and if we choose one of us becomes a bad guy, then again, we could do that and then use them to go back. In any case, it's still a theory. They literally absorbed Kairos into their body, could they
that
theoretically be used, I hate to say it this way, as a sacrifice for their potential energy?
And see, I feel like that's the point. That the point I was trying to make is not that we go and kill someone, but rather we pose this to one of the nicer versions of the Kairos touch that we have met, and see if they would volunteer for such a thing.
Oh, we don't do that to Old Man Kai, because if this fucks up, he's the only one stopping the other ones.
I named no man.
We have met 3 Kais, one of which might be dead.
Y'all have a whole ass book that pretty much Pavin's the only one you met that wasn't listed.
Oh god, are we about to go Pokemon hunting Kais?
I mean that. In short,
We can't catch. We literally, we do not have a Master Ball to go catch the Mewtwo of Kais. Okay.
It's not 52, but
Okay. Sorry.
I feel like this
This is probably a good place to
because
go.
y'all just went like when they tell a DM not to think that they know everything their players are going to come up with. That one threw me for a loop.
that this last thing that Zhonya's going to say, Fil'verl, that is a very astute observation, because of if they are Kai touched in it, Pavin, he dies because we were acting in self-defense, and we drain his blood. That could work.
Now we're talking blood magic.
We're going full-on vampire.
Alright, so thank y'all for watching. I know this was mostly like exposition, researching, and lore dumping.
Getting stabbed.
But for the most part, we kind of needed this information to continue onward, especially because my players are going places I didn't expect. So, thank y'all for watching. Please do further remember we're supporting the Trevor Project for today and tomorrow. Stay tuned for the next, charity that we'll be supporting for the next few months starting in April. And if you have no plans to go see the new D&D movie, you should probably do that because it looks like it's going to be epic. And I'll turn it over to Hewitt for all the things.
Alright, so if you are looking for us on social media, you can first off go to our website, teambonusaction.com. It has a lot of our information, some of our affiliated links, game shops, and I think it randomly plays one of the videos for us. Keep an ear out, because here in the future we may actually be dropping into podcatchers for you to download different adventures and podcasts from us. If you go to YouTube, here on Twitch, and on Facebook, we are Team Bonus Action. If you go to Twitter, we are at bonus_team. Mm-hmm. We have an Instagram that has been updated a couple times. We're working on that. And yeah, schedule-wise, we will have a brouhaha tomorrow to where we might be adventurous and actually try to make 2 meads. A blood orange and a raspberry.
Raspberry.
And we try some beers that are probably going to kick our ass, because I think we got a couple 9 to 10% alcohol plus.
The idea was, hey, bring beers that you like, and we're going to try each other's favorites. And everyone likes very high alcohol content beer, and so yeah, sounds
I had to grab one to replace mine because I can't currently get it in Louisiana. Any case, so Sunday we'll be also back with a bonus roundtable talking about theater of the mind versus terrain, how you feel about it, advantages, disadvantages, just a discussion about what you like to put down on the battle map, if you even don't want to put down a battle map. So we're going to talk about that on Sunday, and then we'll be back with Holy Winds on Monday, and then Tears of Kairos next week, because it is our light week, because we do not also have Redwell, which will be back in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. So, and a kitchen table will be back now that Lafayette is mostly settled, sort of settled. So that's...
Redwell backward is neuter.
Thanks. Now I'm not going to get that out of my head.
But it's the Welsh L, so it's Huter.
Huter.
Could be a Y. Huter.
Could be a Spanish Huter.
Anyway, Knox is not here, so
don't let your meat loaf.
We've
Good night,
got it all at
everybody.
the same
Comment,
time.
comment, subscribe, do the things.
Do all the things.
I stole your.